Boise and Oregon?
Boise and Oregon, also very compelling, which I thought that would be good.
Yes,
maybe not
same.
quite that good.
Same.
But a lot of stuff. First full weekend of college and the NFL in 2024. Very exciting, but my goodness, man, like I said, it's a little bit exhausting at times, and last night watching the Rams and Lions proved that out. So excited to take a little bit of a break this afternoon. Got one more tonight, a couple days off, and the Buckeyes are off this week. So it's kind of a unique scheduling quirk with how it goes.
Improvement week is what they're calling it, not a bye week. I heard a lot of that coming out of the post-game locker room on Saturday night after the Buckeyes did end up thrashing Western Michigan 56-0. To your point about the weird weekend in college football and the weird Saturday, by the time that we got to game time on Saturday with the weirdness that kind of had been happening earlier in the day, I was just there mentally. I'm like, just win the game. I was just like, just go in here, do your business, win the game, and Ohio State, Bob, no problems with Western Michigan. I mean, we talk a lot about the improvement, the jump from week 1 into week 2. That's as much of the start as you wanted against Akron, plus a little bit more.
Oh, that offense looked everything you wanted it to be.
Yeah.
And hopefully they'll be able to continue to do that. We talked about them improving rushing the ball.
They did that.
There was a noticeable uptake in the rushing production. So I was
Could have been even
happy.
more with the long bomb by Quinshawn, but that got called back for a holding.
Yeah. So there was there's some things that still need to be cleaned up, but a lot of stuff went really stinking well for the Buckeyes.
Yeah, and anytime I feel like you allow double-digit yards in a football game, you're probably going to win, and that's something that the Silver Bullet defense did, Bobby. 99 yards allowed for the Buckeyes on defense, and Western Michigan had the ball 13 times. They had 13 possessions. They only got 6 first downs the entire football game. So it was Clamp City on the defense, and then that offense was working through a bunch of things. I mean, I don't know the last time going through a box score and noticing when Ohio State had 12 players catch a football.
And that's what I think people were hoping for week 1, at least I know I was.
Yeah.
And you didn't quite see that degree of dominance. And then it was nice to be able to see that out there yesterday or Saturday with them being able to go play hard and play fast.
Absolutely. So the way that our Reaction Mondays are going to work here, because the Buckeyes played on Saturday, because the Bengals and Browns played, we will do some Buckeye talk coming up here in our next segment. Bill Bender from the Sporting News, he will join us in his traditional 6:35 slot. So a lot of college football talk coming up here in the next hour or so. Top of the 7 and top of the 8 o'clock hour, we'll go over the Bengals and the Browns and some NFL stuff. So 7A, 8A, we will do some NFL talk. 7:20 and then 8:20 as well as 6:20. We will talk some Buckeyes. 7:35, Spencer Holbrook of Lettermen Row. He's going to join the program. We'll talk some Buckeyes with him. And then at 8:35, our guy Joshua Perry, he's going to join the program. Before we jump into anything else today, it is Monday, the 9th day of September, 2024. Time for Today in History.
Time to get smarter. Morning Juice presents Today in History. Here's your professor, Bobby Carpenter.
Sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP.
And just as we all predicted on the NFL front, the Pittsburgh Steelers leading the AFC North after week number 1.
Absolutely. And the Rustler rustled up on the sidelines.
He was inactive and he was wearing full pads.
He is the best.
He is something.
That's why I love him. This date, September 9th, the 253rd day of the year, 113 days remaining in this 2024. This date, 1776, the Continental Congress officially names its union, the group together that it was representing, the United States beam. So some big news there. 1791, D.C. is named after George Washington. 1850, after the 49 gold rush, California is admitted as the 31st state in the Union. This date, 1956, Elvis Presley appears on the Ed Sullivan Show for the first time.
Thank you very much. Mr. Sullivan, we know that somewhere out there that you're looking at, and all the boys and myself and everybody out here are looking forward to seeing you back on television. And we'll be seeing you October the 28th in New York, and we're back on your show again. Friends, as a great philosopher once said, You ain't nothing
What a great intro. As a great philosopher once said, look at the charisma by Elvis there. Some birthdays today. Colonel Sanders of KFC.
Yeah, Meredith was almost the heir to the Colonel Sanders Kentucky Fried Chicken fortune.
Oh, good for her.
Yeah. Her mom grew up, because he's from Corbin, I think, or somewhere down there. Meredith's mom's whole family's from Kentucky. And he was basically the town drunk and was going and just asking for neighbors for like a $5,000 or however many dollar loan. And everyone was like, no, you're a crazy person. Nobody's going to give you this loan. There's a great picture that Mayor's mom has when she's a young lass sitting right next to the Colonel. It's pretty cool.
Tremendous. Yeah. Good stuff there. Otis Redding, born on this day, 1941. The King of Soul, they called him, Beam, sitting on the dock of the bay, one of his famous tributes there. And turning 75 today, Joe Theismann, Super Bowl champ with the Redskins.
First and 10. Riggins, Fleet Licker, back to Theismann. Theismann's in a lot of trouble. And it was Lawrence Taylor who slammed Theismann to the ground at the 42-yard line. Quickly, Lawrence Taylor was up saying Theismann is hurt. And I don't believe Lawrence Taylor would have reacted that way unless Theismann is really hurt. Let's take a look at with our reverse angle camera. He's looking deep, but he knows he's in trouble. Lawrence Taylor, number 56, right there. Carson is number 53. But it's Taylor over Carson. Slamming. And I'm sure that the word will be coming up very shortly that Theismann's season is over.
Who was that on the call?
Frank Gifford.
That was Frank? That's what I thought.
It's on Monday Night Football.
Joe Theismann changed the pronunciation of his name?
Yes.
Yeah. Was it
Theismann?
Theismann, yeah. Okay.
Theismann sounds way better.
Theismann.
Before his senior year, Theismann rhymes with Heisman.
There you go. Hugh Grant, actor turning 64, him from Notting Hill.
So I saw you put that book down your trousers.
What book?
The one down your trousers.
No, I don't have a book down my trousers.
Right. I tell you what, I'll call the police and, what can I say? If I'm wrong about the whole book down the trousers scenario, I really apologize.
Okay. What if I did have a book down my trousers?
Well, ideally, when I went back to the desk, you'd remove the Cadogan Guide to Bali from your trousers and, either wipe it and put it back or buy it. I'll see you in a sec. Sorry about it.
No, it's fine. I was going to steal one, but now I've changed my mind.
Oh, that's great. I love Julia Roberts in that movie. Notting Hill, one of my guilty pleasures, Beam. Bob Stoops, turning 64, the Youngstown native, longtime Oklahoma coach. Dan Marley of the Suns fame, turning 59. And Adam Sandler from Happy Gilmore, turning 58 today.
There is no way that you could have been as bad at hockey as you are at golf.
All right, let's go. Oh! You like that, old man? You want a piece of me?
I don't want a piece of you. I want the whole thing. Oh!
Now you're gonna get it, Bobby. The price is wrong, bitch.
I think you've had enough. No?
That's so great.
Now you've had enough, bitch.
That's pretty darn good. It's one of the great scenes of all time. So instead of fighting you, he chose to beat up Bob Barker? J.R. Smith, Cavs legend.
Your guy, Sharky.
Turning 39.
Love JR.
Absolutely. And Reds legend Billy Hamilton, now playing somewhere in Mexico, turning 34 years young. Some passings today. Catfish Hunter passed away, the Hall of Famer. Won 200 games, Shark, before he was 31 years old. Some holidays observances. It's Bonanza Bottler Day. It is I'm on Top of a Day. International Buy a Priest a Beer Day, Beam. Sudoku Day. National Boss Employee Exchange Day. National Teddy Bear Day. And Wonderful Weirdos Day. And those are your historical events, your birthdays, your passings, your holidays, observances. For this date, September 9th, 253rd day of the year, and 113 days remaining in this 2024 24.
Good job on that, Bob, as always. Sharky, I know we're going to talk about the Browns coming up here at 7 a.m. We're going to do a lot of college football here in the 6 o'clock hour. How are you how you feeling this morning after your guys' performance yesterday?
You know, we have the 24-hour rule
Okay.
in my house. We either celebrate or we don't celebrate for 24 hours. Then we go back to the meeting room on Monday and back to practice and turn to the next game at Jacksonville.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how we do it in my house.
Right, Shark, better performance. Cleveland Browns, Tom Brady calling the Cleveland Browns.
It was a little rough for him, I thought.
His first time.
It is his first time.
Yeah. Let's just say he wasn't worth the $375 million, but it was.
Well, maybe first game he wasn't.
Yeah.
Was Deshaun worth the 230?
Well, no, we figured that out a couple years ago.
Yeah, that was
the jury's still out on Brady.
That was a rough day. And then the opposite side of the state, too. The Bengals just...
So my father-in-law's a rough one for the state of Ohio today.
Yeah, they just clunker
They
city,
lost to the Patriots.
Out straight up at home.
Straight up. They were, at one point, 8.5-point favorites.
Yeah.
And they were down by 10. I mean, it wasn't like they were close.
No.
New England was in control of that game really the whole time.
Yeah, that was crazy. Just two of the craziness games.
And that was with
Jamar
Chase playing.
Yeah, he was playing. And then after the game, he said he had food poisoning on Saturday. So I don't know what's going on there. We'll listen to him a little bit later. But he's like, you got to ask the coaches about my involvement. Got to go ask Zach. I'm like, boy, this is week number 1. And this is what happens when you don't get contract deals done, and then you go into the season, and then you feel really good about yourself.
What is wrong with T. Higgins?
What happened to him? Or like
he's on the franchise tag?
No, I mean he's on the franchise tag, sure, but
is that why he's not playing?
No, he got banged up early in the week. I think I don't think he was on. I'll have to go back and look at the injury report. I don't think he was on the injury report to start the week, Bob, and then something popped up in the middle of the week. So I don't know. We'll do our research when we come back. Let you know about that. And the Buckeyes accomplished something they haven't done in the first 2 games of the season in a long, long time. That's next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now on your Monday, we're not tracking any major crashes or slowdowns across your Central Ohio interstates. Watching things pick up on 161 near New Albany and on I-71 as you make your way into downtown. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Enjoy rates as low as 9.90% APR with a Visa Platinum credit card from BMI FCU. BMIFCU.org/Visa.
Who does Joe Biden have to thank for backing his extreme liberal agenda?
I want to thank my buddy Sherrod Brown.
Sherrod Brown backed Biden, voting to let transgender biological men participate in women's sports, and supported allowing puberty blockers and even sex change surgeries for minor children.
My buddy Sherrod Brown.
And Brown backed Bidenomics, reckless Washington spending and inflation causing prices to soar, groceries up 22%, electricity up 32%, gas up 50%. The Brown-Biden price increases are smothering hardworking Ohio families. Their extreme liberal policies are hurting Ohio. And who's to thank for this mess?
I want to thank my buddy Sherrod Brown.
Biden's buddy, Sherrod Brown. Way too liberal for Ohio. Vote no. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
Don't sweat it. Call Care Heating and Cooling and we'll fix your air conditioner fast. 1-800-COOLING.
Watch the PGA Tour's Next Generation at the Nationwide Children's Hospital Championship at the Ohio State University Golf Club, September 19th through 22nd. Pub 13 drink specials, food trucks, and more. Get your free tickets at ncc-golf.com.
It's back to school time. That means it's time to start saving with Deals for School Days at Giant Eagle and Market District. Deals for Days means tons of discounts on all your favorite lunch items, snacks, and everyday essentials so your students can be ready to take on the day. Featured items will only be available at these amazing prices for a limited time. So don't miss out on Giant Eagle and Market District's Deals for Days for all the best back to school deals. Visit your local Giant Eagle or Market District today.
Here at The Fan, we give you 14 hours of live and local programming every day. We care about you. We live and work in your community. Except Bo Bishop. He won't tell us where the hell he is. Your live and local station. Except Bo. The Fan.
The Columbus Men's Clinic opened in 2014 for guys who get it done. Let's talk, fellas. You solve problems all day at work. You fix your sink when it's broken. But when it comes to ED and low T, it doesn't get done. We get it. You hate going to the doctor, but you're the guy that fixes things. At the Columbus Men's Clinic, there's nothing to fear and no reason to delay. We've been destroying bedroom boredom for a decade. So if you haven't fixed this, call us. When the pills fail, call us. If you feel like you've tried everything, call us. Here, there's hope. From the conventional to the next level. You'll be seen by our friendly, discreet physician who will take the time to listen. Imagine finally taking care of this with no surgery. Imagine going from feeling gray to living life in vibrant color. It's time to be confident. Join the thousands of guys who have found success after walking through our doors. Will you be one of them? Dial 614-300-7400 or go to ColumbusMen'sClinic.com to schedule a $99 male performance consultation, including blood work. Do it for you. Do it for her. ColumbusMen'sClinic.com. Book your appointment now.
Who does Joe Biden have to thank for backing his extreme liberal agenda?
I want to thank my buddy Sherrod Brown.
Sherrod Brown backed Biden, voting to let transgender biological men participate in women's sports, and supported allowing puberty blockers and even sex change surgeries for minor children.
My buddy Sherrod Brown.
And Brown backed Bidenomics. Reckless Washington spending and inflation causing prices to soar. Groceries up 22%. Electricity up 32%. Gas up 50%. The Brown-Biden price increases are smothering hardworking Ohio families. Their extreme liberal policies are hurting Ohio. And who's to thank for this mess?
I want to thank my buddy Sherrod Brown.
Biden's buddy, Sherrod Brown. Way too liberal for Ohio. Vote no. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Sunny today, sunny tomorrow, pretty much sunny every day this week. Temperature will be around 80 today, 54 tonight, and 86 for the high on your Tuesday. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
FanDuel is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
One of these guys thinks Clintonville was named after Bill Clinton. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Coming up here in our next segment around 6:33 this morning, Bill Bender, the Sporting News, he's going to join the program. We'll break down the craziness that was college football here in week number 2. Let's focus on what transpired on Saturday evening. Buckeyes 56, Western Michigan nothing. Now, this is one of the games where the box score is not going to fool you, Bob. 683 total yards for Ohio State, 99 for the Broncos.
I was almost kind of disappointed there weren't more points out there when you have 693. But this is what happens when the defense doesn't force any turnovers, but they do force no first downs, basically. Six first downs on 13 drives, as you so eloquently pointed out to me this morning when I came in. Because I was at the game, and I went back and rewatched it, spun through it. But, every time I looked up, there was big play. Yeah. Quinshawn ripping one off. I was sitting in the B deck area when JJ had his touchdown.
By the way, 5-yard hook, that should never be a touchdown.
Catches that, they run the little, it's a little play action. They're running a flat curl essentially in behind it. He catches the ball between 3 guys. And Shark, the only guy that I've ever seen do that in a play in Ohio Stadium was Terry Glenn against Notre Dame, where he caught the ball. The defense is in good position.
Three guys in good spot.
They're on top of him, and he simply turns and is like, see ya. I'm out of here, and you guys can try to catch me. And I said, he's gone.
If you can.
He's gone. And one of the guys, no, he's not. I'm like, I'm telling you, the dude's fast. As soon as I watched him put his foot in the ground, I've watched him run around. It's like, there's none of these guys are catching him. Maybe if you're playing like in Alabama or Georgia, they could do that. But none of those guys right there are going to be able to pull up.
So I saw this from Matt Guttridge of 11 Warriors, who does a good job keeping Ohio State stats. Said, if my research is correct, Jeremiah Smith is the first true freshman at Ohio State to have over 200 yards receiving in the first 2 games of a season. Michael Wiley was your leader for freshman receiving yards through the first couple of games of his career.
I forgot
he had 130 in 1996. And then Devin Smith actually had 119 back in 2011. Jeremiah Smith through 2 games, 211.
Nice. That's it's pretty tremendous. By the way, he's 5th all-time for freshman touchdown receptions now with 3.
Yeah.
Chris Carter has 8. He is the leader.
I think that one's getting shattered.
I would say so. I was kind of surprised. He only had 1 yesterday. And it's like, yeah, I mean, they ran the ball in 6 other times. So there you go.
It was awesome, too. I mean, because a lot of guys got work, right? I mean, they totally poured out the depth chart and the roster. I did see this as well, Bob. Defensively, I mean, you just look at the numbers, and it was as good as a performance as we've seen throughout the first couple of games of a season. And Matt from 11 Warriors said, after the season's first 2 games, Ohio State has only allowed 6 points. The last time the Buckeyes allowed fewer points was the start of the 1963 season when Ohio State shut out Texas A&M and Indiana. You got to go back to 1963.
There we go.
For fewer points.
That's pretty darn impressive.
Yeah.
And this defense, like I said, this is the other way. This is the way they did it last year. They didn't force a lot of turnovers last year, but they were insanely dominant being. And so sometimes turnovers are going to come. And the old adage is defensively, they come in bunches is what people say. But what was tremendous was to watch was just their smothering defense, how hard they played, how they ran to the football, everything they were able to do out there. Number of guys scoring. Like everyone focused on Quinshon. You love to see the Trey scored. Peoples, like they did it in a number of ways. It was fun to watch. And while the defense maybe didn't have quite the degree of like turnovers, defensively they were still really impressive with being able to force big play like sacks and things like that. I mean, they did a pretty darn good job.
Yeah, they did. And I mean, Western Michigan only threw the ball 17 times.
Yeah, they weren't.
I mean, they weren't really going to do anything after the second half, after halftime ended, and as they got into the second half. So yeah, defensively, it was awesome to watch. I don't know how to process the Denzel Burke targeting. I lost my mind watching it on TV, and then they showed the replay, and I lost my mind again. That is a ball carrier who is putting the crown of his helmet down to try and run someone over. And was it Caleb Downs who had the initial hit on him, then Denzel came and cleaned him up?
I think so.
You didn't call it on the field. You get spotted by the replay booth. You go back to call it. Both guys have put their head down. I mean, you can see that Denzel's got his shoulder turned too, Bob. Like, it's not like he's going full in there, helmet down, head hunting. And to me, targeting is a penalty. You know it when you see it.
Should be clear and obvious.
Clear and obvious, and that wasn't it. And I was so upset for Denzel, the fact that you've taken a game in Ohio Stadium away from him in his final year here at Ohio State.
That stinks. No good at all. It's wild. It's wild to kind of see that, and I was very disappointed because that was in the
first quarter.
Yeah. So at least he doesn't
miss second drive.
At least he's not missing any more of the rest of the game.
Yep.
Good news, you get some of the younger guys out there playing a little more, but Denzel, for a guy who's going to get only so many more opportunities to play in the stadium, that's what I think that he's pretty upset about.
Yeah, not like he was going to play deep into the football game anyways. I mean, he probably was going to be out of there, Bob, as they empty the bench here. But still, I mean, the fact that he had to come out of the game too. I didn't like that at all. I thought it was a pretty bad call. Offensive line much improved, I thought, this week, Bob. I mean, they were doing some pretty interesting things in the backfield, and you wanted to see that jump from week number 1 to week number 2, and I think we saw that because there were some nice gaps for Trey and James Peoples and Quinshon to be able to run through on Saturday evening.
Well, they opened up holes. They did a much better job. You felt like he had some good protection when he threw it, but they were coming out there. And like we talked about in the first game beam against Akron, Chip and Ryan, they wanted to set the tone about what this team was going to be like and what they were going to be about. And a big portion of that was going to be running the football. And they wanted to make sure that they were going to go out and run the football and run it very effectively. And that's why you saw nearly 40 rushes beam for almost 300 yards.
Yeah, how about Ryan Day as well after the game? Because we got to see 4 quarterbacks actually play in the game. Will Howard, Devin Brown, Julian Sand, and then Lincoln Keenholtz at the very end. Here was Ryan Day on getting the backup quarterbacks in.
Yeah, I thought Devin did a nice job on that first drive that he went in there, hit a nice, play action pass, did a couple nice things, threw an over route to Bryson Rogers, which was well done, made a couple nice checks in a run game. So I thought that was good. And then he got a couple drives, and I felt like we wanted to get Jules in there and Lincoln as well. So. Those guys are working and they deserve an opportunity to play in those type of situations. So, the more we can do that, the better. We'd love to get them more and more reps, but when you have that many quarterbacks, it's hard to do. So, but again, I think this team overall is unselfish. And I think that everyone's cheering for each other. They're pulling for each other, and the ball got spread around today overall, and that was good.
You can even see that with Travion and Quinshawn on the sidelines too. I mean, how much these guys are pulling for each other when they're in different series. Julian Sand 2 for 2, 61 yards, and had that awesome touchdown pass. First of what we expect to be many.
Hopefully many, and everybody wanted to see. With the young guys get in there, with the young guys getting, I'm like, well, hopefully the game will dictate that. Mm-hmm. And that's what they wanted to see. And I believe, 21-0 in the first quarter?
Yeah.
I mean, they were dominating. You're like, okay, put together a strong second, and then we can start clearing the bench and get the guys in there who deserve to play, that have worked really hard, who, have a lot of ability, and they need to go out there and hone that. And that's what we were able to see. And that was, I think it was very reassuring and very exciting to see what the future of Ohio State looks like.
Yeah, for sure. Was also welcome back, Cody Simon. That was awesome to see. And then I didn't really notice him much in the first game, Bob, when I was doing the rewatch, but there were a couple of plays in there from Caleb Downs where he was a missile. Mm-hmm. He was a run-stopping missile coming up from the line of scrimmage. I mean, there was one play where he's, 15 yards behind the line, and ball gets handed off to a Western Michigan ball carrier, and immediately diagnoses the play and is at the line of scrimmage in an instant.
He has elite anticipation and elite closing speed. Yeah. Very, very impressive with what he's able to do. And you got a chance to see it on display, so it was pretty darn fun.
Absolutely it was. Also, too, Cade McDonald, that guy's awesome. I know that's Schlegg's guy, and we'll talk to him tomorrow about it. But that guy was terrific on Saturday evening. So the Buckeyes, no problem with Western Michigan, 56-0. They are again off this week. You got Marshall coming up here in a couple of weeks' time. Bill Bender, the Sporting News, he's going to join the program to break down what was a super weird weekend in college football. We'll do that with him next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there and good morning. Right now, no major problems that we're watching across your central Ohio interstates. Seeing busy traffic on 33 on the southeast side, also on I-71 near Polaris. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your Fan traffic.
Get your game room game day ready with Billiards Plus. Pool tables, shuffleboard tables, and games the whole family will enjoy. Now is the time to get your name on a pool table before the holiday rush. Plus top-of-the-line grills still in stock. Shop Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter, and everybody gets beaten down. They get tired, they get old, they get sore, they don't move like they used to. You have those achy joints that you want to heal up and you want to feel better. I'm no different than you. This is Bobby Carpenter. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm talking about advanced regenerative medicine. I had issues with my knee. I didn't like it. I played football for so long, and I wanted to run. I wanted to be active again. I thought I was going to need surgery. Thankfully, I got to go see the folks over at QC Kinetics, and they were able to look at my knee, prescribe a treatment program with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. And you know what? I brought my dad with me. He absolutely loved it as well. And we wanted to go to QC Kinetics because they're the leaders and the experts in these amazing regenerative treatments. We're talking about cellular therapies here, and there's tens of thousands of people all across the country that have tried it at QC Kinetics. So they've got locations in Dublin and Gahanna, so it's easy to check them out. You can go to QCkinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
Football fans, meet your new full-service auto partner, Hinderer Motor Company. This is Justin Hinderer. From Honda to Ford to Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, we have the perfect vehicle for every football fan. Stuck on the road? Our 24/7 towing and roadside assistance is just one call away, and our convenience service means no hassle, just great service. Plus, every vehicle purchase comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty. For unbeatable deals and unbelievable service, visit HindererMotorCompany.com. We love what moves you.
Right now, Tel Ohio is offering an impressive 7.75% APY, plus a deposit match and closing cost credit. Find out about the Ohio Homebuyer Plus Savings Account at telohio.org.
Certain restrictions apply. APY equals annual percentage yield. Tel Ohio is open to all in Central and Southwestern Ohio. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity. NMLS number 251831.
Football season is here, and we have so much stuff. One station isn't enough. Find even more Pigskin on ESPN Columbus.
Set your second preset to AM 1460 or 97.1 FM HD2, or listen on the Fan app.
Your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan.
And what is it called?
A ceiling fan.
And where is it?
It's on the floor.
And why is that a problem?
Well, see, the person who named it probably should have called it a floor. No, that's not right. The guy on TV I saw put up a ceiling fan.
Are you a TV star, Paul?
No, I'm not.
Are you an electrician, Paul?
I am not.
You are?
I am a middle management accountant, and I shouldn't be putting up ceiling fans.
You should.
Call the pros who knows.
Apex
Pros.
The pros who know electrical work, too. Hi, it's Alex from Apex Pros. And if you liked us for plumbing, cooling, and heating, you're going to love our pro electricians.
Apex Pros are on the way.
Much easier, isn't it?
I'm glad we sorted this out.
Me too.
Columbus loves the pros who knows. Schedule with one click at apexpros.com.
Hey, Bobby Carpenter here for my friends at Affinity Whole Health. Affinity is the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy, but they are also much more than that. They help men and women who are experiencing things like low energy, low libido, muscle loss, and weight gain. Turn it all around. You can feel amazing and live better, just like I can. It can be delivered right to your door, which is tremendous. Semaglutide for weight loss and testosterone and hormone replacement therapy for so much more. I've been a customer for years, and it works. Get started at feelgreatcolumbus.com.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Are you ready to unleash the beast? Monster Energy is here to give you the edge this college tailgate season. Loaded with bold flavors, our powerful blend gives you the energy you need to push you beyond your limits. Tune in all season long with Monster, the energy drink of ESPN Radio College Football Tour. Power your performance with a drink that's as hungry for victory as you are. Crack open an ice-cold Monster and dominate your competition. Monster Energy. Unleash the beast. Grab yours today.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. FeelGreatColumbus.com. The Fan.
If you make a wisecrack about Dayton pizza, Beamer will murder you dead.
Humor. I have it too.
This is Morning Juice.
Weekend number 1 in the NFL, almost in the books. We still got Monday Night Football to go. I was going to say a great weekend, but depending on if you're a Bengals or a Browns fan, that was a pretty tough one. And you know what? We got another chance to start the season with a big return on FanDuel. That's America's #1 sports book. You're going to get started with $200, 200 smackaroos and bonus bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet on tonight's game. Again, you got the Jets, you got the 49ers, Bob. Garrett Wilson, opportunity tonight with Aaron Rodgers at the helm, I feel like, to have a nice night as well. Christian McCaffrey dealing with a little bit of an Achilles. We'll see what happens there. A lot of people like Breece Hall this year as well. Should be a pretty awesome Monday Night Football game we got, but lots of good stuff on FanDuel.
Oh, you got Deebo Samuel for receiving yards, maybe Ayuk, whatever you want to throw in there. Aaron Rodgers with some over on passing. Get that SGP, that same game parlay, build it for tonight, Monday Night Football. Just visit FanDuel.com/juice to make every moment more this season. FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NFL. Must be 21 older and present Ohio. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued is now withdrawable bonus bets that expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Right now we head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Checking with our great friend of the Sporting News. He is Bill Bender. Bill, I mean, as good as week 1 of the NFL was, week 2 of the college football season presented some challenges. Your biggest takeaway from week 2 of the college football season was what? Happy Monday to you as always.
Oh, happy Monday. Yeah, I was in Ann Arbor, and Texas is very good. Quinn Ewers played well. They were executed on third down. I think as much as that was, Michigan's offense is not good, and they're going to face some serious hurdles in Big Ten play if that doesn't improve. Very impressed with Quinn Ewers, especially on third down. The playmakers that Texas has, the way that they just kind of totally took it to the Wolverines in the first half.
Yeah, it was kind of surprising the way that they were able to move the football with relative ease. I know, Bill, Michigan offense, we didn't think that it was going to be, as good as last year. They obviously lost a lot of pieces. Were you surprised, though, at how much they got bogged down and just kind of inefficient they looked?
Well, it looks very ordinary on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, if you we make the jokes about Iowa all the time. That's kind of how they looked. The offense, the defense, the first possession, 13 plays or so, forces a missed field goal. Michigan goes 3 and out. Then as the game wore on, it was kind of like the Georgia-Clemson game the week before, where, it was a game for a half, and then Georgia just kind of took over. So I think for Michigan, it's that the offensive line lost some guys. They don't have a true threat at receiver, and they don't have a dominant running game either. So, I mean, they're going to have to really reassess what they want to do offensively, or they're going to be in trouble in 2 weeks. I mean, we're going to watch the same movie when they play. Hey, there's another takeaway. USC is really good. Mm-hmm. If I had to say who the Big Ten championship game was today, I'd probably say Ohio State USC.
Ooh, I like that. As we check in with Bill Bender of the Sporting News with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Bill, if I would have told you that 2 weeks ago that you would have said that, how would you have reacted to that?
I'd say how? I mean, there's all these Big Ten teams. And I think the answer is Miller Moss is pretty good in that offense, that he gets the ball out quick. Their defense is tackling. They have some threats on the perimeter. And they've, quite frankly, looked a little bit better than Oregon. And I know Oregon won that shootout with Boise State. What an entertaining game that was on Saturday night between Ashton Gianti and the Oregon Ducks. But I think USC's just showed a little more balance on that side. Now, and they don't play in Michigan. Well, they play Michigan. They don't play Oregon and Ohio State. They're really big, tough game in Big Ten play is Penn State flies out to them. That'll be another all-time uniform game. So I like USC's path.
All right, so week number 1, we watched Penn State go down to Morgantown and absolutely handle West Virginia. They had a massive problem with the Falcons of Bowling Green this week, and then you had mentioned it, I mean, late night for the folks that were up and watching the Peacock. Oregon and Boise State was an awesome game, Bill. I mean, we knew that Oregon had some problems week number 1, and we were watching them against Idaho. They could continue those problems, but they did win against Boise, so they are 2-0. They didn't get an early season loss in there. The Penn State debacle on Saturday was, they were pretty close to losing that football game, Bill.
They were, and for whatever reason, they don't play that great against MAC schools. And I'm talking, with the spread, they rarely cover those. And then, Bowling Green comes in, runs the football well in the first half. I do think Bowling Green's going to be pretty good in the MAC. The way that their offense is balanced. They got Connor Bazelak. He's played a lot of football, 2-time transfer, and played well. But, to Penn State's credit, they did. It's better to we're going to get to it. It's better to win that game than to have happen to you what happened to Notre Dame with Northern Illinois. That was probably my biggest stunner of the weekend, walking out of Michigan Stadium and watching the end of that game on my phone and just saying, what is going on here?
It was a shock. And the two other games, I'd like to get to that Notre Dame game, Bill, and also Iowa State, which Iowa was firmly in control of that game at halftime, and I'd kind of pulled ripcord on it. Felt like the Hawkeyes with that great defense. You've got a 1-score lead, 2-score lead. Like, you feel pretty confident in it. And then all of a sudden, next thing I know, they're trailing by 1 after going for an ill-advised 2-point conversion. I guess I don't know if the math says you do that. Probably it does. I don't know when Kirk Ferentz became analytics king, but what happened to the Iowa Hawkeyes?
Yeah, the offense stalled. That game always – 1-score game anyway, so you can't make mistakes like that. And Rocco Beck played well for Iowa State, didn't turn the ball over. They hung in that game. So the reward for the Cyclones is they're ranked. The Big 12 has teams ranked. They're all bunched from 11 to 25, but again, that race is going to be really exciting. So I think disappointing for Iowa. That was another one of the Big Ten disappointments this weekend, because they're going to look back at that game with the schedule they have in Big Ten play, and it's probably going to haunt them at the end of the season.
Bill, I was watching the Ohio State broadcast on Saturday, and I don't remember if it was 52-0 or 56-0, but Ohio State, since the turn of the century in 2000, almost 25 years now of evidence, Ohio State is either 52-0 or 56-0 against non-Power 5 opponents, like in the non-conference, undefeated over that time span. You're now talking about with Notre Dame 2 in the last 3 years at home with Marshall a couple of years ago and now Northern Illinois. And I was watching a good chunk of that game, Bill. Like, there was nothing fluky about the Notre Dame-Northern Illinois game and the result coming out of South Bend.
No, and stunning in that regard that, I saw a stat yesterday that from Matt Fortuna that Notre Dame is one of 5 teams through 2 weeks that doesn't have a touchdown pass. And Air Force is one of those teams. It's that type, right? The teams that you expect not to have a touchdown pass, and Notre Dame. And I think that is stunning. They really couldn't get the running game going. And when you put yourself at the mercy of the field goals at the end of the game, you're probably going to lose. So impact for that is know that they're going to make the playoffs, even if they go 11-1, because think about that. In the 4-team era, if you would have lost to a MAC school, you're not going to the playoffs. And that's one thing to keep in mind. Now, they probably need USC to be 10-1 or 11-0, and that can be their marquee victory. The good news for them is that is the last game of the season, and we all have short-term memories, unfortunately. So they could still have a chance to get back in. But, man, that is going to be an eyesore for the rest of the season for the Irish, and they definitely are going to need to improve the passing offense.
Bill, how are you feeling about your Packers after week 1? I know you're worried about Jordan Love.
Well, I mean, yeah, they shouldn't have played that game on that grass, but Green Bay will be fine. I think, the good news is Jordan Love, probably 3 weeks, good on your Bears. I know we were the only team in the NFC North that didn't win yesterday. Proud of the rest of the division putting us in that one-game hole because they didn't have to play on the ice skating ring in Brazil.
Different type of grass they got down there, Bill. Always appreciate the time, buddy. Have an awesome rest of the week. Enjoy the Monday night football game and the big slate in college football and the NFL this week, and we'll check in again next Monday, all right?
Yeah, I heard some Aaron Rodgers guys playing tonight. I'll talk to you guys later. Take care.
There he goes. Bill Bender of the Sporting News with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Hey, if you were listening last Thursday when our guy Albert Breer of the MMQB and what he said with us, then this news did not surprise you at all yesterday morning. We'll do that in Quick Hitters coming up next. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there and good morning. No crashes that we're watching right now, but seeing busy traffic on 33 on the southeast side. Also on 161 near New Albany. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors. Voted by Columbus homeowners as the leading and most trusted window brand. Find out why at PellaColumbus.com or at their brand new Polaris showroom.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Hey, welcome to IKEA's complete sleep event. Don't miss dreamy offers on sleep essentials.
I've tried carrying sheep, but keep losing track.
We've got you. IKEA family members save 15% off your purchase of $300 or more on select sleep comfort items. Check out comforters, pillows, and mattresses for all sleep styles, and so much more.
Ooh, can't wait.
You shouldn't. Go to IKEA-USA.com/bettersleep or visit your local store today. Offer valid August 7th through September 10th, U.S. only. See store and IKEA-USA.com for full details and eligible items. Restrictions apply.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. I want to tell you about my friends over at Newman Roofing. When I needed a new roof, there was only one company I was going to call, and that was Newman. Because as a family-owned and operated company, Newman Roofing understands the importance of creating a customer experience centered around values that's built on a foundation of trust and integrity. Newman Roofing has been maintaining its commitment to the company's core values for over 32 years, and it shows, folks. When we dealt with them, they were fantastic. Each team member we dealt with, they were dedicated to respecting both you and your property in hopes of creating a lasting relationship with each family they interact with. If you're someone who values quality workmanship and excellent customer experience, then Newman Roofing, well, there's nowhere else to go. It's the company for you. So whether you need a small roof repair or a complete roof replacement like I did, the team at Newman Roofing approaches every job with the same level of care and excellence. So give them a call at 614-NEW-ROOF. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof. NewmanRoofing.com.
Delaware County Veterans Services invites you to visit the Wall That Heals from September 12th through the 15th at Havner Park in Liberty Township. Pay homage to those that have served in the Vietnam War. The Wall That Heals is free and open to the public. To learn more, please visit thewallthathealsohio.com.
Sunday, a day of rest, relaxation, and Browns football. Catch the Brownies as they head to swampy Jacksonville. Live coverage starts Sunday at 11 with a kick at 1. Your Central Ohio home for Browns football, The Fan.
Hey folks, Bobby Carpenter here. I picked up my brand new Toyota Tundra last week, and I absolutely love it. From my guy Marcello at Germain Toyota. And right now, you can lease the powerful Toyota Tundra SR5 for just $409 per month. That's 36 months, 10,000 miles per year. Built to handle tough jobs and thrilling journeys. The Toyota Tundra SR5 is the ultimate companion for work and play. These deals are rolling out fast, so don't wait. Visit Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road or online at germaintoyota.net. Offer ends soon. See dealer for details.
Excuse me, waiter. There's a hair in my soup. A long purple hair.
I'm so sorry. I'll get the manager.
I'm the manager. How can I help?
Wait, weren't you the Plum Insurance mascot?
What gave it away? My long purple fur?
Something like that.
What if all insurance companies were like NJM and were known for putting their policyholders first, not gimmicks? Then all those insurance mascots would have to get real jobs.
I'll pass on dessert.
No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM.
Madame Giselle senses something big coming.
Is it a career change?
Everything looks wet.
I'm gonna be a swim teacher.
There's a roof.
A swim teacher who also does roofing.
No, the roof of your RV has a leak and it's ruining the furniture.
Oh, that's okay. I'm covered by Progressive. But maybe I'm a swim teaching roofer who makes furniture.
Customize your coverage with Progressive's Roof Protection Plus and be prepared for the unexpected. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Roof Protection Plus available for RVs less than 6 years old. $250 deductible applies to any claim.
This college football moment is brought to you by ServPro.
On October 21st, 2006, Michigan State found themselves down 38-3 with less than 10 minutes to go in the third quarter, and they made that initial deficit like it never even happened, scoring 38 straight points to win 41-38.
Incomplete. The ball game is over. The Michigan State Spartans in one of the greatest comebacks in Michigan State football history.
ServPro, like it never even happened.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
The sun is out with a high of 80 degrees. Clear tonight, lows in the low 50s. Warmer tomorrow with a high of 86 under sunny skies. Sunny again on Wednesday with a high of 90. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Bobby is known as the General. Beamer is known as Beamer. This is Morning Juice.
We here on The Juice are brought to you by our good friends over at Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. You can, of course, visit them on the line at feelgreatcolumbus.com.
Time to get smarter.
Wrong thing.
Morning Juice presents Quick Hitters.
Sharky.
It's okay. I was hoping that we could go through the whole week without making one mistake. And here we are, 49 minutes into the show.
Week number one in the NFL, Shark. A lot of time to get better.
That's right. Okay? Absolutely. As I definitely know. And, well, you got a W, but it wasn't the prettiest thing in the world. Anyway, let's move on to quick hitters. Had the Cowboys given Dak Prescott a contract extension a year ago, it would have been in the $40 million per year range. But they waited, and they waited, and they waited some more. And in the meantime, Dak went out, finished second in MVP voting last season, and then watched 8 other quarterbacks get at least $50 million a year. Dak just sat back and saw dollar bill signs. Yesterday, he agreed to a 4-year, $240 million deal. Bobby, he is the first player, certainly not the last, in NFL history to average $60 million per season.
Yep, it's a big jump, and this is what happens when you wait to pay. I was curious if they were going to. It had gone so long. It didn't seem like Jerry was going to do it, but leave it to Jerry. I mean, the Sunday morning before the first game, it's breaking that deal is done. So they always say deadlines make deals, and that was the ultimate deadline to get that done, and they did.
Absolutely. Albert Breer, when we had him on at 8:05 last Thursday, as we will have this weekend, not this weekend, this Thursday at 8:05. I call that the long tease. He said, he goes, because I think you asked him about it, right?
Yeah.
You asked him about the Dak contract situation. He said, is there a deal going to get done, Albert? Or are they just going to go into the season without one? And he was pretty positive. He goes, this deal I think will get done here before the end of the week. And then you quipped, you said, Albert, it's Thursday. Sunday morning.
Almost over.
Yeah, week's almost done. Sunday morning, we wake up. Dak Prescott has a new $240 million contract. And, Shark, you no longer, as the Cleveland Browns, have the distinction of being the most guaranteed money for a quarterback because Dak Prescott, $231 million guaranteed.
$1 million more than our boy Deshaun. I don't know if this is an actual news story or not. Bill Belichick wants to coach again. He hasn't said that publicly.
He's on InstaFace now.
He's on InstaFace. According to Adam Schefter, sources, in air quotes, say Belichick would like to return to coaching next year, but only in the right situation. Not too surprising, although Bill is now 72 years old. In the meantime, Beamer, we get to watch Mr. Belichick tonight on the Manning Cast.
Yeah, for sure. I just, one, this is not surprising. Thing or not a thing, not a thing. Because I think we knew it when Bill got let go from the Patriots, or however they wanted to term that, or they came to an agreement. They parted ways, right? How many games shy is he from winning the most games of all time? Is he 6? Is it 16?
Something like that. It's 2 to 3 years worth. Like, he would have to be on a decent team to get it done.
So I watched a lot of NFL football yesterday, had the NFL Sunday Ticket fired up. There's a lot of bad teams. There's a lot of bad teams in the NFL, and there will be a lot of head coaching openings at the end of the year. Yeah. So I think Bill Belichick is probably going to have his pick of the litter when it comes to it. And it wouldn't surprise me at all, Bob, that we get closer and closer and closer to December, and then Black Monday comes around, the first Monday after the NFL regular season, that some team has already honed in on Bill Belichick. So that wouldn't be a great surprise to me at all. I mean, he wanted to get back in coaching this year. I thought him to the Falcons was a done deal.
He is 26 games behind Don
26.
Shula.
Okay.
Is that regular season or combined? Because he's got to have a ton more postseason victories than Shula just because
there's more games.
Yeah, extended playoffs.
I would say that's probably
regular season. I'm guessing.
Above. Yeah. I'm guessing that's all of it. It has to be.
Postseason wins, Bill Belichick has 31. He's got 31 postseason wins. Andy Reid has 26.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Joe Mixon had a really good 7-year run with the Bengals, 8,500 rushing and receiving yards, 62 touchdowns, but Cincinnati didn't want to bring him back for an 8th season. They were all set to release Mixon, but then wound up trading him to Houston for a 7th-round pick. Good investment for the Texans. Mixon rushed for 159 yards and a touchdown yesterday in a 29-27 win at Indy. After the game, Mixon was asked if he wishes Houston was playing Cincinnati this season. Nope, he said, Bobby, I just want to leave them where they're at, just like where they left me.
Just like where they left, I don't know. They traded you to Houston. I mean, you're down there, you've got a good quarterback, you're in a good spot. This is the thing with running backs. It never ends well because the shelf life isn't as long as other positions, and guys always feel like they have more left. And listen, Joe Mixon, this is a good spot for him to be down there.
It is.
Cincinnati couldn't afford to keep him with everyone else they have to pay. They had to make difficult decisions, and that's the business part of the game. And so I understand where he's at and what's going on, but you can't be salty about it. It is what it is.
And I don't think he is salty about it. I think he's just said, they left me, I left them. I'm happy I don't have to play them. We're going to leave their situation in Cincinnati, and we're going to keep my situation in front of me in Houston. And he said, about his performance yesterday, he said, I kept telling my offensive line, 150, 150, 150. And then they ultimately got to 159. Yeah, that's a great performance by him down there, Bob. And they're going to be a really good team this year. Houston Texans are. I mean, I know that they went on the road and they beat the Colts. So it was a pretty dramatic game at the end there. But Houston Texans are going to be really good, and Joe Mixon's going to be a big part of it. He said, yeah, no doubt. I definitely did, man. Like I said, I feel great to be appreciated here and to play a big part in what we do. I'm just going to do whatever is asked of me as a player. And if it's time to make a play, then I've got to try whatever I do I can to make it. Just be the best teammate and leader that I know how to be. I'm just happy to be on this side now. Yeah, interesting. I mean, that could be a possible playoff matchup, too. I mean, the Bengals and the Texans. No, they don't play each other in the regular season, but good job out of Joe Mixon yesterday. 159 yards. Great performance out of him. Not great performances. The Browns and the Bengals both had clunkers out of the gates. We'll do that coming up next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, no problems that we're watching across your Central Ohio roadways. Seeing busy traffic on 33 out in Plain City, also on 33 on the southeast side. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
Men, you already know that as we age, low testosterone can cause many issues, including decreased energy, bad sleep, a lower sex drive, and more. And if you're like most men, getting treated for low T can truly change your life. But it's also important where you get treated, because your health matters, and a quality medical practice that has true expertise in men's sexual health can help you get the best outcome. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, the leader in treating low T and other men's sexual health issues in the area. And if you're feeling like I just described and haven't yet sought treatment, or if you're not satisfied with the treatment you're currently receiving, I'd invite you to call us. At Tri-State Men's Health, our expertise is men's sexual health. It's all we do. We've successfully treated thousands of men for low T, and we offer a true 5-star experience that is like no other. If you're like most men, you'll be astounded at our service and at the results of our treatments. So make an appointment today. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
You can use your phone at a doctor's office. You can use your phone at a football game. You can even use your phone at an amusement park. But one place you should never use your phone is behind the wheel. Fines now start at $150. So remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
Hey guys, it's Timmy Hall, and American Nitro Smokin' Hot Wing and Music Fest presented by Lowe's is back for year 2, and I'm so excited. We got the wing smoking competition that I'll be judging, cold beer, food trucks, tons of wings, and a great cause. We're raising money for Ghosts of War, providing immediate assistance to veterans in need. So get your tickets at americannitro.com/wingfest. Free admission for all current and former military members. Brought to you by Lowe's, Columbus Chamber of Commerce, Dave & Buster's, Valpak of Central Ohio, Heidelberg Distributing, and more.
Pop quiz. What's the best way to go back to school? With Giant Eagle and Market District, of course. From lunchbox favorites to fun after-school snacks. Shop deals for school days and save on thousands of items throughout the store. Visit your local Giant Eagle or Market District today.
Is foot pain keeping you from living life to its fullest? Life is too short to be dealing with foot, knee, or back pain. Come into the Good Feet store and learn how the Good Feet heart support system can help you get pain-free. Call 880-9255 or go to goodfeet.com to make an appointment.
Picture this. You arrive at your hotel. You have an important online meeting lined up with clients from all across the country. You have your laptop open, ready to begin, and the Wi-Fi is so terrible, you can't even connect. These types of stressful situations happen all the time, but they don't have to. When you book a room at La Quinta by Wyndham, you have access to their free high-speed Wi-Fi, so you can take care of those critical emails, join your meetings on time, and even unwind by streaming your favorite shows without having to worry. Tonight, La Quinta. Tomorrow, you shine. Book direct at lq.com.
Get more of the NFL with NFL Plus Premium and start streaming more touchdowns, more hurdles, more action.
Breaks a tackle, he's gone!
NFL Plus Premium has your game day covered with NFL Red Zone, game replays, live local and primetime games on mobile, and more. The action doesn't stop there. Also, stream NFL Network 24/7, including 7 exclusive live games this season. Sign up today at plus.nfl.com. Subscription required for NFL Plus Premium. Terms and conditions apply.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning, I'm Mark the Shark. Jamar Chase still doesn't have the contract extension he wants, but he did play in the Bengals opener yesterday and had 6 catches for 62 yards. It wasn't enough as the heavily favored Bengals fell at home to New England 16-10. In Cleveland, a rough day for Deshaun Watson in his first game in 10 months. He was sacked 6 times, intercepted twice, and hit 17 times as the Browns fell to the Cowboys 33-17. In baseball, the Mets' 9-game winning streak included a stretch of 80 consecutive innings in which they never trailed. Both streaks were snapped yesterday. Santiago Espinal's 2-run double in the 9th gave the Reds a 3-1 win over the Mets. The Guardians managed just 5 runs in their 3-game series at Dodger Stadium. Yesterday, they were blanked for the 15th time this season, 4-0. The Sports Center is sponsored by Dormar Heating and Air Conditioning. Need an emergency repair? Dormar can be there today, guaranteed. Visit them at dormarheating.com.
What's the point of watching football all weekend if you can't overanalyze it?
Reaction Monday is sponsored by the Roofing Guys.
The Fan. Counting down the days until Shark's retirement. You are listening to Morning Juice.
Hour number 2 of the program for us on a Reaction Monday. Brandon Bean, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark. Coming up here, 7:35 this morning, Spencer Holbrook of Lettermen Row. He's going to join the program. We're going to break down some Buckeyes with him. And then at 8:35, Joshua Perry, he joins us as he always does every single Monday. It's on your big screens on NBC, on the big TV. He's going to join the program at 8:35. We'll break down some college football with him. Again, Spencer Holbrook, Lettermen Row, 7:35. Joshua Perry coming up here at 8:35.
Keeping you informed about what's trending this morning. It's time for a little re-rack on Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus, your destination for top-of-the-line grills with up to 30-year warranties. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
So the way that we're working things out here on our Reaction Mondays, since the NFL has now entered the fold, every Monday we'll do Buckeyes at 6:20, 7:20, 8:20. We'll do some NFL talk at 7 and 8 o'clock. That's just kind of the way that it's going to work out for us. So Buckeyes coming up here in the next segment, although they did hammer Western Michigan 56-0, Bob. It was quite the performance by that Silver Bullet defense.
Yeah.
And the offense had 683 yards of total offense.
Pretty darn good.
Pretty good.
I mean, I don't know what the single game record is for Ohio State for yardage.
We looked it up on Saturday night. It's like 760 something.
It's over.
Yeah. There was one back in the day. I want to say it was against Mount Union, Bob.
Who cares? Don't count.
I think that's number 1 at like 773, and they had 0 passing yards. It was all running.
Of course.
Most yards, Ohio State offense in a football game.
I mean, I would have to. These are individual records. I'm sure it's somewhere in the 700s, I'm guessing.
Most total yards of offense in total game. All right, here you go. 776 is the record when you beat Bowling Green 77-10.
What year was that?
2016.
Okay.
That one counts.
All right.
763 against Toledo in 2022.
Yeah, I thought that there was a game recently that was pretty close to that.
Oregon State back in 2018, that was a 77-31 victory. That was 721 yards. And then you get the Mount Union game, 7-18.
Okay.
That was all running the ball. They had 0 passing yards and a 59-0. That was September 27th of 1930. And then against Utah back in 1986, where you beat them 64-6, he had 715. So this performance on Saturday night, not even cracking the top 5 all time.
Gosh, yeah, you got to be over 700 to get anything done around here, Beam.
Yeah.
So the 700 yards, that's 3 games for 2-3 games for an Iowa team.
Yeah, for sure it is. I thought they had that game in the bag too. Not in the bag. It was halftime, but given the way traditionally the way
their
that
defense
the points are
is
scored,
really good. And that game was a rock fight, so you thought for sure, like, oh, they scored a couple of touchdowns here. You feel pretty good. They've got a 2-score lead. Like, what's wrong with that? Mm-hmm. They should be ready to rock, ready to win. It's winning time.
And then they didn't.
And they didn't. That hurts because that game would have been pretty nice here in Columbus.
Yeah, it sure.
Unfortunately, now it's not going to be as big. If they would have won, there's a good chance they would have been ranked, I don't know, top 15 probably on their way through, and that would have been pretty sweet. And unfortunately, that's not the case right now.
Guards lose 2 out of 3 at the Dodgers, Sharky. They're at the White Sox tonight on the south side. How you feeling?
Oh, man. The worst thing that could happen happened with the Royals and Twins. You needed 2 out of 3 by one team. Instead, Kansas City swept them. They're 2.5 behind Cleveland. They just won't go away. They're like a pesky little gnat. And the Guards, meanwhile, 15th time they were shut out yesterday, which is second most in the majors. They went 0 for 20 this weekend with runners in scoring position.
That stinks.
And
That's
you think,
not very good.
They've got 2 guys with 100 RBIs.
Yeah.
You would think there's no way they could be shut out once every 10 games.
But alas, they are, and they're leading the division, too. That's crazy. But they did lose 2 out of 3. They're in the south side tonight, taking on the White Sox.
The
Reds
good
lose
news
2 out of 3
is
at the
they've
Mets.
got the White Sox lined up.
Yeah, Sharky, you're feeling good about that. The Reds lose 2 out of 3.
130 losses or whatever they're working for.
The Reds are in Atlanta tonight to take on the Braves. Seattle hammer the Crew 4-0 at home. Our goalie got a red card, and MLS.
How's a goalie get a red card?
Yeah, tackle someone poorly inside the box, and last man of defense. Take the guy down. It's exactly what happened. But our top 2 goalies were on international duty, Bob, and we weren't allowed to have a third goalie, an emergency backup goalie brought up because of dumb MLS rules. So anyways, that's 4-0. Sean Zawadski was in goal for the second half, which he's an outfield player. So it is what it is. You got Hell is Real coming up this Saturday. That is down in Cincinnati. Let's get to the topic of the day from yesterday. Do you want to start down south or do you want to go up north?
I don't know. We already talked some about the Browns more so than the Bengals. So let's start with our guy Slim Shady at quarterback down there.
Okay, you come into the day feeling pretty good about yourselves. I know that Jamar Chase
How good did you really feel about it?
I think you felt pretty good. I think you felt pretty good as a Bengals fan.
How good did you feel about the Bengals, or was it the fact that you thought you were playing one of the worst teams in the NFL?
I think you thought both. I think you thought that you had a pretty good team. Jamar Chase was active. He was going to play. And he
hadn't practiced all camp.
He hadn't practiced all camp, but he
checked that Sands one day that Shark reminded me that he wandered out there lost.
Yeah, but then he did practice last week a little bit. And you were entertaining a really bad football team on paper. Now, the problem is when you start with a 3-and-out, then the Bengals force a 5-and-out, 5 plays for the Patriots. Then you get another 3-and-out. Then the Pats go on a 14-play, 7.5-minute touchdown drive. Mm-hmm. And then you go 3-and-out again.
Yeah.
So that is 9 offensive plays that they had run in the first half up to the point. You finally get some mojo on offense. You drive all the way down to the New England 14, 15-yard line. You got a first down inside of the red zone. And then you end up turning the ball over at the very end of the drive.
Red zone turnovers are bad, Beam.
Yeah.
Because it takes really sure points off the board. That's Bill Parcells. That was number one of his most critical rules as a quarterback. Like, you cannot turn the ball over in the red zone. When you get down there, you have to get points.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least have the opportunity. Giving the ball away, unless it's a 4th down and you're throwing it because it doesn't matter at that point.
Right.
You cannot throw interceptions down there because you ruined that entire drive. And not to mention, like, they finally put together a drive to give their defense some reprieve. But they were on the field so much. It was like that Browns defense where I think Shark at one point in the Cleveland game was 11-4 or something like time of possession. It was crazy town. So having some of that going on with Cincinnati.
Well, the worst part, too, about that drive, that fumble, is that then the Pats turned around with 5 minutes left to go in the half.
Oh, yeah.
And they marched all the way down and got a field goal. So now instead of it being 7-3, giving the ball back, 7-7, 7-3, whatever, getting points. Like, now all of a sudden it's the Uno reverse card. Pats go all the way down. Instead of it being a 1-possession game heading into half, it's now 2, and the Pats are getting the ball back at the end of halftime.
Shark, would you rather have Jacoby Brissett as your quarterback?
No.
He already had that. He already did that.
That's why I'm asking.
Yeah. No, Bob.
More than Deshaun?
No.
That turd that I
I'd rather
watched.
have his contract. But, everybody fell in love with Jacoby when he went like 2-6 as a starter for the Browns.
He's a Cleveland guy.
What do you mean he's a Cleveland guy?
He was embraced by the city up there. They loved him.
Go to Cleveland State or something?
Sure, why not?
Let's make it up on the fly.
I'll tell you who I would rather have than Deshaun.
Brian Hoyer.
Baker Mayfield.
Real Cleveland guy.
Hey, we made it an hour and 10 minutes into the show. From a Bengals perspective, though, don't worry, we'll get to the Browns. Shark, you just wait.
I don't need to discuss the Browns.
We'll get to them. Obviously, Bob, training camp matters, and the Bengals didn't have a lot of their guys out there for training camp, and that, I think it showed. It showed yesterday in week number 1.
I think it was evident in week number 1. And T. Higgins getting hurt during the week in practice.
Not on the injury report on Wednesday, popped up on Thursday, and then didn't practice on Friday.
Yeah. And if this would have happened without Jamar Chase playing, I would have said, okay, that's one thing. Mm-hmm. But the fact that you had Jamar Chase out there, but the problem is when you miss all of that time, it's really hard to just be thrown back into the mix. Like, oh, we're going to be great. Everything's going to be fine. Well, if that's the case, then why would they even have training camp at all? Why would you even need to practice?
Right.
There is timing, there's coordination, there's playing your way into shape. You've got to experience some of those things. It's just the visual of understanding what happened, like watching the play happen before you, like knowing when the coverage is going on the, for defense. or for offense watching the coverage, like as a receiver being able to get in and out of those different breaks, understanding like the inverse of that when you're playing defense, like watching routes and things, just training your eyes. Like it's a process because it's something you don't do anywhere else in real life. So it's very difficult to get into that. And so people act like, I just hop back into it. I mean, Jamar Chase has played a handful of years. He hadn't played 10.
Right.
Like this isn't like he's been doing this. He's not 30 years old. He's a great athlete, a great player, but you do need some time to get on the same page with your quarterback.
Yeah, and all said and done, too. I mean, the Bengals scored a field goal with, 2.5 minutes left? Or not 2.5 minutes left, like in the fourth quarter. So, I mean, they got it to a one-possession game. You then force New England to punt. You get the ball back with 3 minutes left, and then you have a 3-and-out. Like immediately, 50 seconds burned off the clock. Then New England ultimately gets a first down. That ends the game. I mean, you had an opportunity with 3 minutes left at home to drive down the football field and get a game-winning touchdown. And at the end of the day, you couldn't do it.
No.
They couldn't do it. They sputtered.
I
Totally.
thought when they got the ball back at the end, you're like, Joe Burrow's good. They're going to put it together. Despite everything that you had seen to that point,
yeah,
I had faith in a guy who we've watched play big in big moments.
Sure.
So I wasn't like it wasn't like if Deshaun got the ball back at that point thinking this offense is looking rough, rugged, and Roker all day.
For as bad as the Bengals were, the Browns were worse.
And I don't even know if it was all that close.
I don't know what's going on. I know that they also didn't have guys training in training camp. I mean, their offensive line was makeshift. How many times did you say Deshaun got hit yesterday, Shark?
17.
Oh, man.
I mean, their line was atrocious.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure which tackle was worse, though. The Cowboys left tackle, which looked like me rushing on my son with Myles Garrett on him.
Yeah.
I mean, Dak, it was literally like a 1-2-3 throw, trying to figure that out. I mean, Myles would just rip through the air. Let me just punch the ball out of his hand. Like,
so would Micah, too. Like, he just was a game wrecker all
That's what I'm saying. Both of those guys,
Yeah.
it was a feast of crows, beam.
The thing that I do understand it because the offensive line, Bob, I mean, it was check down for the Browns. Like, there was not one time, maybe once in the game, where Deshaun
Cooper dropped one.
Yeah, that's true. And then another one he overthrew him, right? I mean, so the couple of times that
Drop
he did
was a little bit ahead of him, but it still should have been caught for a guy as good as him.
Yeah, it's just, that's a total mess. Like, I know that we're not going to overreact to week one, even though that's what we find ourselves doing here, but you're at home, and Myles Garrett the fans up in Cleveland were booing the team, and I thought this was a terrific answer from Myles Garrett on the fans booing up in Cleveland.
They have the right to tell us however they feel. I mean, if we're not playing well, they have the right to boo. If we're kicking ass, they got the right to cheer. It's their privilege. They come in, they pay to see us do well, and we didn't. And we got to put on better performance if we expect them to go out there and support us in full force. So we got to be better, and that's all on us.
It was a terrific answer from him.
Yeah. I mean, that's the reality. It was not – it's one thing to lose a game, Beam. If they were lost to Dallas and it's 27-24, they played well, Dallas made some plays because Dallas is good. But, Beam, when the spread, when you're a 2.5-point favorite at home and you get beat –
smoked.
I mean, 33-17 really isn't indicative of what the game was.
No.
It was 33-3 at one point, or almost that, wasn't it? Maybe they scored one more, but it was.
No, I think was it like 27-10,
27-3,
and then
It
they
was 27-3.
kicked a couple field goals.
It was 27-3 before Cleveland got a score. So, by the way, you're giving up special teams return touchdown. I mean, it was just.
And that was the first. It was a 3-and-out, and then it was Kevontae Turpin punt return, right?
Yep.
Yeah, right out of halftime. So any little bit of energy left in that stadium, I feel like, was just immediately gone.
You got a 4th and 2 to open the game up. You're going to go for it, and you jump off sides.
Yeah.
False start. What are we doing?
Another thing, and I'm not here to defend Deshaun, certainly, but he was under pressure all day, and we found out after the game that his dad died Friday.
Yeah.
And the Browns told him to go home. You need to be with your family. And he said, no, I want to be here for my teammates. So I don't know if that played into it at all, but that would be rough 48 hours after your father died to take the field.
It was a bumpy start for sure for the Bengals and the Browns. Looking to get better. Bengals taking on the Chiefs and Arrowhead next week, and the Brownies going down to Jacksonville. They flip on the schedule, too, because that 4:25 game is the Bengals and the Chiefs, and the Browns play a 1 o'clock game down in Duval.
So now the Bengals can get featured in maybe a bludgeoning.
Don't say that. The Silver Bullet defense is off to a historic start to the season. We'll get into that coming up next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and happy Monday. Watching crews clear up a crash from earlier this morning on I-71 southbound still. This is right at 17th Avenue. Don't be surprised if traffic is slow moving as you approach the downtown area. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stutterwald with your fan traffic.
Take the winning drive to Great Lakes Kia. Great cars, great people, Great Lakes Kia. Visit GreatLakesKia.com.
Who does Joe Biden have to thank for backing his extreme liberal agenda?
I want to thank my buddy Sherrod Brown.
Sherrod Brown backed Biden, voting to let transgender biological men participate in women's sports, and supported allowing puberty blockers and even sex change surgeries for minor children.
My buddy Sherrod Brown.
And Brown backed Bidenomics, reckless Washington spending and inflation causing prices to soar, groceries up 22%, electricity up 32%, gas up 50%. The Brown-Biden price increases are smothering hardworking Ohio families. Their extreme liberal policies are hurting Ohio. And who's to thank for this mess?
I want to thank my buddy Sherrod Brown.
Biden's buddy, Sherrod Brown. Way too liberal for Ohio. Vote no. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
Create a safe sleep environment for your baby by using the ABCs of safe sleep. Babies are safest alone on their backs in an empty crib. Always place your baby on his or her back while sleeping, and be sure to use a firm sleep surface. Remember, room sharing without bed sharing is safest. For more information, visit childrenandyouth.ohio.gov/infant safe sleep.
Wake up. Breakfast. And Nature Made vitamins. Whatever your morning sounds like, Nature Made fits right in. Whether you're looking for vitamin C or a multivitamin to get key nutrients, we've got you covered. Now that's a good morning. We take care of you so you can take on your day. Start your day with Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
It's Monday Night Football on The Fan. Catch the Jets and 49ers from the Field of Jeans. Live coverage starts Monday at 8.
Sponsored by Roosters, a fun casual joint.
Your radio home of the NFL, The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
This September, Diamonds Direct's ultimate offer is back, stronger than ever. Diamonds Direct helps you get the perfect jewelry gift with 0% interest. That's right. Enjoy 5 years of 0% financing on any Diamonds Direct purchase. It's your chance to get her the perfect ring with 0 interest and comfortable monthly payments that fit your budget. But act fast. This offer ends September 30th. For details and more, visit DiamondsDirect.com. Spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest on approved credit. Only at Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Delaware County Veterans Services invites you to visit the Wall That Heals from September 12th through the 15th at Havner Park in Liberty Township. Pay homage to those that have served in the Vietnam War. The Wall That Heals is free and open to the public. To learn more, please visit thewallthathealsohio.com.
Healthcare.gov is here for you when life happens. If you lost your health coverage because of turning 26, going off Medicaid, leaving your job, or moving, you could be eligible to enroll in new coverage now. And if you need to update your coverage because of marriage or having a baby, you could also be eligible. But don't wait. There's a limited time to enroll. Check your eligibility at healthcare.gov today. Life happens. Get covered. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
You can use your phone at a doctor's office. You can use your phone at a football game. You can even use your phone at an amusement park. But one place you should never use your phone is behind the wheel. Fines now start at $150. So remember, Ohio, phones down. it's the law.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Sunny today, sunny tomorrow, pretty much sunny every day this week. Temperature will be around 80 today, 54 tonight, and 86 for the high on your Tuesday. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
FanDuel is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
You're listening to Rob Manfred's least favorite radio show. This is Morning Juice.
Coming up here in our next segment, 7:35, Spencer Holbrook, Lettermen Row. He's going to join the program. He was at the Horseshoe for a Week 2 appearance by the Buckeyes. 56-0, the final score. Saw Phil on the YouTube chat says, morning, I hope Ohio State never has a Week 3 bye week ever again. Yeah, it's weird. You just got rolling, right? And
I think there's going to be more stuff like this. Now, granted, it's weird because like I think they said on these leap years, like they have like an extra Saturday a lot of times, like an extra weekend.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if that's fully true. I'll have to go back and
Maybe
look.
it's true this year.
Yeah, you get that extra weekend, and so you can throw another one in there. But they're going to probably end up moving up the college football season another week, I would imagine.
So Week 1 will be week before Labor Day?
Yeah, 2 weeks. Yeah.
Labor Day weekend will be Week 2.
Week 2, yes.
Yeah.
I would anticipate that will happen at some point as this playoff just continues to expand and grow and trying to offset it with the NFL and everything else and not drag it so deep into the end of January. So I don't know if by doing that, how the bye week structure will work. But, I mean, we had a bye week my freshman year. Shark, you'll remember this. We played in the Kickoff Classic. Was that the week before Labor Day? It was like week 0 type deal?
Yeah.
And then we got Labor Day weekend off, and then we played 12 straight games.
Yep.
So.
That's weird.
Yeah, I mean, that's stuff that just happens sometimes. So maybe it's auspicious, Beam, that you get those early bye weeks and what they lead to, but they also have the second bye week against Oregon, so you have 2 this year, which is why I think this early one isn't quite as bad.
You guys played August 24th, so that would have been a week 0 game against Texas Tech, and then had Labor Day weekend off and turned around September 7th against Kent State. Strange.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
But I remember
really
having the second weekend off, and my dad's like, you have 12 straight weeks of football, which was a lot.
That's fun. 3 months, buddy.
It was a long time.
Yeah.
And we were winning every game, which was great, but like the pressure and everything else that goes with that, the coaches were just getting crazier and crazier as the weeks went on. Like each successive win, you get closer and closer, so nobody wants to blow it.
Matt of 11 Warriors tweeted this out yesterday. After the season's first 2 games, Ohio State has only allowed 6 points. The last time the Buckeyes allowed fewer points was the start of the 1963 season when Ohio State shut out Texas A&M and Indiana.
Yeah.
It has been since the mid-'60s since you've seen this type of performance out of a defense, Bob. And 99 total yards for the Broncos of Western Michigan, 6 first downs on 13 drives.
Yeah, defense was dominant. They were smothering. They suffocated Western Michigan. Against Akron, they forced a lot of turnovers. They did allow a little bit of driving of the football, but and when you hold a team into double digits of total yardage,
I
don't care who you're playing.
No.
I mean, they can stumble in to some plays here and there. And, they had the one, I think, pass underneath. It went for like 15 on one of the first downs. A couple missed tackles on it. And there's going to be stuff like that happens. But the fact that they were that dominant for that long. And, by the way, they played a lot of guys.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't – that's the one thing that I want everybody to make sure that's understanding is – when you're rotating those guys, like I'm looking at Arvell Reese, and they're early in the game, playing a lot. And so when you see him out there that early, and then you're rotating other guys after him, and there is no discernible drop-off in the quality of play, that's what's the most impressive is how they've been able to maintain that standard regardless who's out there.
Yeah, that was really impressive, Bob. And to your point, Western Michigan had a chunk play of 16 yards on play number 4 of their first drive, 19 yards of play number 8 on the first drive. So Western Michigan had 55 total yards in their, I guess that would have been second drive, their second drive of the football game. You allowed them from that point on to 44 yards.
Yeah.
After the second drive.
I mean, that's basically 2 plays, gave you about 40, and then that was like almost half of your total.
More than half of their total offense came from that one drive. And then the rest was it. I mean, I'm looking here. 3 plays 9 yards, 3 plays 12 yards, 3 plays 7 yards, 3 plays 6 yards, 7 plays 20. One play.
Well, and you're not
yard.
getting penalties to advance the drives either. That's the other thing. Like, you're not keeping drives alive on third down with any penalties. So it was a very clean game, a very disciplined game by that Buckeye defense. I thought it was an excellent performance.
Yeah.
I don't know what – I mean, you could argue, say, hey, I would like to see some more turnovers, but when they're not going to put the ball in the air, it's hard to force fumbles all the time. Like, it makes it incredibly tough. And I think after the second or third drive, they realized, let's not get anybody hurt. We're just going to try to run this thing out, because if we do drop back and pass consistently, they're going to get there.
Here was Ryan Day about pitching a shutout on Saturday evening.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess it was 6 points last week and didn't allow them in the end zone. And all I could hear the defensive guys talk about at halftime was shutout. And so, yeah, there's a mindset there. And, and our guys are competitive. I think you can see that. Even to the end, they're competing. And that's a good sign. I've said that all summer, and you can feel it on the field. So, yeah, I mean, it's something these guys have pride in. And, to know you shut somebody out is a good day. Now, we're going to put this behind us, grow from it, learn from it. But overall, our guys, we're proud of that. They're proud of the fact that they only held them to 99 yards and 0 points. And that's a big deal.
I was listening to Lance Taylor after the game, Western Michigan's head coach, because on the network broadcast, we usually, for home games, we'll get to listen to Ryan Day's press conference and then get to hear 3 or 4 minutes out of the opposing head coach's press conference. And Lance Taylor, I thought, had the line of the evening. Obviously, it was a tough night for his guys, right? Good performance against Wisconsin, 28-14. Yeah. They had a mistake that cost them, that game being closer in week number 1 up there at Camp Randall. Lance Taylor took to the podium and he said, they're bigger and scarier in person.
The Monstars.
And I kind of whipped my head around. I'm like, okay, this is this is a D1 football team. This is a team
who just played Wisconsin.
Just played Wisconsin on the road, and you're coming out here and saying they're bigger and scarier in person.
Real scary, Beam.
Yeah, for sure, man. Great dominating performance by the Buckeyes on Saturday against Western Michigan, and a guy who was there to see it, Spencer Holbrook of Lettermen Row. He's going to join the program. We'll break down their emphatic statement against the Broncos coming up next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and happy Monday. Watching crews clear up a crash from earlier this morning on I-71 southbound still. This is right at 17th Avenue. Don't be surprised if traffic is slow moving as you approach the downtown area. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stutterwald with your fan traffic.
Hey, it's Anthony Rothman. Guys, if you're only middle-aged but wondering why it seems harder to keep up, you're not alone. It may be caused by low testosterone. Testosterone replacement therapy can help you get back to your best, but not just any TRT. See the provider specialists at Low T Center. They offer advanced, personalized treatments with over a decade of experience. At Low T Center, you'll start with a simple test and get your results in about 25 minutes. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book your appointment online. That's lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
At Diamond Cellar, we've been crafting love stories for over 77 years. Trust, quality, and always the guaranteed best price. Visit us today to experience the Diamond Cellar difference. Stop into our showroom on Sawmill Road or at Easton Town Center.
Hey everybody, it's Austin Ward. Most goals we set for ourselves have a pretty clear course. My family wants a trip to Disney World. So you read a couple of reviews, talk to a few friends, save up some money, and then you book it. There's maybe a couple of choices along the way, but overall, it's a clear course to reach your goal. Now, what if your goal is to lose 40 or 50 pounds? Where's the clear path there? You read reviews, talk with a few friends, and try something out. When it doesn't work, you're disappointed. We've all been there, and it sucks. Know what I say? Stop trying and do what I did. Start doing. Reach your goal with Awaken 180. It's a clear course to success without the disappointment. No guesswork, no trial and error, and no medication side effects. I'm proof. I dropped 55 pounds with my first go at it, and it was simple. A word I never associated with weight loss, except now when referring to Awaken 180. Choose the simple, clear course to success with the solution for weight loss. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Get your game room game day ready with Billiards Plus. Pool tables, shuffleboard tables, and games the whole family will enjoy. Now's the time to get your name on a pool table before the holiday rush. Plus, top-of-the-line grills still in stock. Shop Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Did you know we have another station? More Buckeyes, more play-by-play, more everything.
Set your second preset to AM 1460 or 97.1 FM HD2 or listen on the Fan app.
You're home for almost 2 months. much football. The Fan.
Ohio, ready for some quick mental health facts? Let's go. Nearly 2 million Ohioans live with a mental health condition. In the U.S., more than 50% of people will be diagnosed with a mental illness in their lifetime. Depression is a leading cause of disability worldwide. So why are some of us still stigmatizing people living with a mental health condition when we know all of this? Let's listen to the facts and beat the stigma. Ohio, challenge what you know about mental health at beatthestigma.org.
Have you lost Ohio Medicaid? At healthcare.gov, you can find a low-cost, quality health plan.
Do plans cover doctor visits?
What about emergency care?
And prescriptions?
All covered and more. Plus, with the new law, 4 out of 5 customers can find a plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Healthcare.gov is here for you. Enroll today for coverage starting the 1st of next month. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
At Kroger Pharmacy, CARE is making it easy to get vaccinated. CARE is helping you stay protected from flu, COVID, and RSV. Seasonal vaccines are available 7 days a week with evening hours. CARE is giving you a shot at staying healthy this season. Walk in whenever is best and get multiple vaccines in one visit at your local Kroger Pharmacy. So come and get the protection you need while protecting those around you. Kroger Health, a world of care is in store. Visit Kroger.com/vaccines for more. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See site for details.
When your job demands more than just hard work, trust Timberland Pro, the brand that defines superior comfort, performance, and durability. Built on a legacy of craftsmanship, Timberland Pro provides boots and apparel that stand up to the toughest challenges. Our products are as resilient as the skilled men and women who wear them. From the workshop to the job site, Timberland Pro is there with you every step of the way, blending innovation with time-tested quality. Discover why professionals choose Timberland Pro. Always do, never done. Visit timberlandpro.com or your local Timberland Pro dealer.
Now your ideas don't have to wait. Now they have everything they need to come to life. Dell Technologies and Intel are creating technology that loves ideas, loves expanding your business, evolving your passions. We push what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Find out how to bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to Now.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. FeelGreatColumbus.com. The Fan.
If this show made a scented candle, it would smell like bad coffee, unwashed jockstrap, and grass clippings.
I wasn't sure how you take your coffee.
You're listening to Morning Juice.
So, mouth or enema?
Little Reaction Monday edition of the program. Brandon Bean, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark. Right now, we head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Check with our good friend, Lettermen Row. He is Spencer Holbrook. Spence, thanks for the time as always, buddy. Appreciate it. Know you were in the Horseshoe on Saturday night watching this Buckeye team basically thrash Western Michigan, do whatever they wanted to do against them. Better output, Spencer, offensive or defensive for the Buckeyes?
Well, thanks for having me, guys. Don't mark me down on the candle sales, and I would go with defense because of how – I mean, under 100 yards is almost unfathomable to think about, just for an entire game. Western Michigan had 10 3-and-outs. I think they had 26 yards in the second half. 3 of their 6 first downs came on that second drive where they missed a field goal. I mean, it was complete domination, and I think it's more impressive with the fact that, you can find an open guy on offense, late in games, but late in the game, the Ohio State defense was still locked in on preserving that shutout. And I think that's what the most impressive thing was. The mindset that these guys have from 1 to 85 and even on down to the walk-ons, I think is the most impressive thing. So I'll go with the defense.
Well, even at that, I mean, just the mindset's part of it, but the ability to get it done. Especially as you're watching that game, there really was no discernible drop-off despite who came in the game at any point in time.
Yeah, I mean, Western Michigan didn't even try to target Jermaine Matthews once Denzel Burke went out of the game. You talk about different linebackers, and, all of those guys got a lot of reps, and they all performed pretty well. The defensive line especially, on the second watch, I think Caden McDonald was one of the most impressive guys on the field, just the way that he's able to shed blocks, and he looks like a young version of what we saw from Tyleik Williams there in year 2 when people thought maybe he's a little too big to play consistently, but all of a sudden he goes up there and it just looks like a world beater out there. So I was really, really impressed with Caden. I was impressed with some of the backups, and I think this team is really, really developing the depth that they wanted to. Coming into this season, and you're starting to see that form. Now, I know that it's two MAC teams, but you've got to feel pretty good heading into this off week about what you're seeing from the younger guys.
Yeah, they called it improvement week, Spence, right? I mean, they're like, it's not really an off week, it's improvement week for us. As they look to take the jump from game number 2 into game number 3. To your point, I mean, we knew that the depth and the headlining ability, the nature of JT Tuimoloau and Jack Sawyer was going to be great. The interior guys of Ty Hamilton and Tyleik Williams was going to be really good. The depth that they have all across the defensive line, Spencer, is jarring because there was no chance for Western Michigan to try to get anything done on the ground because those guys were just swallowing it up really before it got going anywhere.
Yeah, it is impressive, and I thought Hero Canoe played well. Yep. I keep saying it, but everybody who was in there on the defensive line, I did not see. It didn't look like there was a drop off. Now I know that they're playing, 2s versus 2s or even 3s versus 3s at times. And Western Michigan, I think the center went out early with an injury, so you got to take that a little bit into account. But also, you don't really have to do that because it was just utter domination. And I look at Caden McDonald again as a guy like, man, Georgia probably wishes they had that guy as a second-team defensive lineman because Kirby Smart a couple weeks ago was lamenting about how, the decline of college football is the fact that Georgia doesn't have enough depth. And it's just like, well, whack, Kirby, because Ohio State's got that depth right now, and it's kind of crazy to think, that we used to look at those Georgia defensive lines and think, oh, my gosh, they just keep coming in waves. And by the middle of October, I don't know I think there's a good chance that we say that about the Ohio State defensive line where, man, they got another guy that's coming in that looks like that. Man, they got another guy that's that productive. I mean, it's something that I'm going to be watching pretty closely because I think they can get there here in the next few weeks.
It's been pretty darn impressive. Also, the depth, getting a chance to see 4 quarterbacks on the field. Your thoughts on the 4 young gentlemen getting in there and 3 of them throwing some passes?
Yeah, I think it's great. I mean, Ryan Day has decided that, Western Michigan's collecting a check, so they're also going to collect a butt whooping from first quarter to fourth quarter. And I like that. Devin Brown needed to throw passes. Julian Sayin needed to have to read defenses and find open receivers and get some real action. I always thought that it was a little odd that C.J. Stroud started a game without ever throwing a pass because that freshman year he was a handoff guy, and Kyle McCord was a handoff guy.
He was also a big runner. Let's not besmirch that touchdown run he had against Michigan State.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Bob. But C.J. and Kyle were made to be handoff guys for a few years there, and you wonder what they would have looked like in their first couple games as a starter if they weren't just handing the ball off for a quarter and a half for so many of those games for all those years. So I think it's awesome that Devin Brown is I think he's a better quarterback for having to throw the ball even against Western Michigan in game action. I thought he looked good. Julian Sayin is going to be a better quarterback because he gets those reps and he's not just handing the ball off to James Peoples. I think that it's great. And then to get another guy in there, Lincoln Keenholz works really hard, played in the bowl game, and now you get to get him in the game as well. And I know he didn't throw passes, but I still thought it was good for Ryan Day to get him in the game and let him see some action. So, yeah, I thought it was really awesome to see all 4 of those guys get on the field.
He is Spencer Holbrook of Lettermen Row with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Spence, you have the floor now to speak whatever you want to talk about with Jeremiah Smith.
Can we just be speechless for a couple of minutes here? I think dead radio is bad radio, but unless you're talking about Jeremiah Smith, because I don't know what else to say, and it's only game 2, so I've got to come up with now 3 years of content to write about this guy without saying like Marvin who? Like it's crazy. Like I never thought that I would see a receiver, as good as Marvin Harrison Jr., and I'm not sure how long that is even going to stand because of how good Jeremiah is. I don't want it to overshadow what Emeka Egbuka did on Saturday. I thought he was absolutely fantastic, and I'm afraid that at times we will be overshadowed with Jeremiah stuff to not realize how good Emeka is. But at the same time, like if you see greatness, you have to recognize greatness, and I think Jeremiah Smith is well on his way to all of that. And I little funny side here. I messaged my Dynasty group chat the other day, and I said, I'm already tanking for Jeremiah Smith in 2 years, the number 1 pick, because I'm so excited for that aspect of his career because you think he's doing this at college, DBs. I think when he gets to the NFL, it's even going to be better. And it's crazy after 2 games that we're talking about him in the NFL, but I think he's NFL ready. And that's kind of crazy at 18, but also they don't make him like Jeremiah very often at 18.
No, he's I'm guessing going to break the freshman touchdown receiving record. I never thought I would see a play quite like Terry Glenn's against Notre Dame, especially from a true freshman, and that's about as close as you're getting. I understand it was Western Michigan, it wasn't Notre Dame, but it was wildly impressive. Before we get you out of here, it's been interesting because there's been a lot of stuff that's been said. The quarterback, Will's played really well, obviously, but Kyle McCord has played well up at Syracuse, which I thought would happen. Your thoughts just on that and that whole situation of how everything looks?
I think everybody wins here. I think Kyle McCord looks so much more comfortable in his own skin. I think he looks like a leader there. He looks like a five-star quarterback and almost looks like one of those alpha dogs in that Syracuse football program. And then I think Ohio State at the same time feels like it upgraded and got exactly what it wants in Will Howard. And sometimes everybody wins in those kind of things. Now, has Kansas State won yet? Because this was a three-way deal. I don't know if Kansas State has completely won yet because I still think you need to see some stuff from Avery Johnson. But, for Kyle to be able to go do that, it's awesome. Kyle was great with the media. He was great. I think he was great, around fans and to the city and to the university, embraced Ohio State at times. I think he's more comfortable there, and you're seeing a different Kyle McCord at Syracuse. You're seeing, I think, a different Will Howard at Ohio State, and again, this might just end up being a win-win. We chalk it up for everybody, and maybe Fran Brown will send Ryan Day that bottle of champagne, and Ryan Day will have a nice thank you card for Chris Kleiman going to Manhattan to Kansas State. We'll see.
Spence, before we get you out of here, you are the noted nephew of Aunt Karen Holbrook.
Absolute drunken orgies.
What'd she think of the tailgating scene for the primetime game on Saturday evening?
Yeah. I can't say she loved it. It was great though. I was super impressed. I don't know how much she loved it. I actually left my laptop charger at the Horseshoe. Yesterday morning, I had to go back. I know.
Walk of shame.
Yes, I know. Yeah, yesterday morning, I had to go back over to the Horseshoe and try to get in there. And there's just things blowing everywhere, and the parking lot looked like a Kenny Chesney concert aftermath. And I'm like, man, Ohio State really did well here. And all of a sudden, I started thinking, man, the guys on Morning Juice are definitely going to ask me about Aunt Karen, what she thought of all of this mess out here on a Sunday morning. She can't be happy about that.
The parking lot had a great time. Buddy, always appreciate it. Have a fantastic off week, and we'll check in again soon, all right?
Thanks. It's an improvement week, Beam. I'll talk to you guys soon.
There you go. Spencer Holbrook, Lettermen Row with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline.
Hey, I want to tell you this. I've been thinking about changing the windows and doors in your home. It'd be dumb not to get a few estimates. That's what you do. It's a huge purchase. All I'm saying is don't double it down and forget to include my friends over at Pella with one of those estimates because they've been voted by you, Columbus, as the leading, most trusted window brand and most likely to improve the look of your home. They've got 5 different window lines for the $300,000 to the $3 million home. So they've got you covered whatever you'll want to do. The Pella product is famous. It's fantastic. The local team here in town have been just as impressive. So go check them out at PellaColumbus.com.
Whole heck of a lot to be juiced about coming off a big footballing weekend. We do that next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, crews are clearing out a crash on I-71 southbound. The right shoulder blocked going southbound right at 17th Avenue as crews work to clear up a crash over there. And then on I-70, heading eastbound, watch for the right shoulder blocked right near Alum Creek Drive because of a disabled vehicle. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Dormar, your kind of hero.
Dormar can be there today, guaranteed. Visit them at dormarhvac.com.
Bobby Carpenter's dad and retired pro football player Rob Carpenter was tired of dealing with knee pain, but finally found relief without surgery at QC Kinetics.
Yeah, this was nothing really like a surgery. I mean, it was not painful, and the results were good. And, I'm walking out the door and walking pain-free, so it was a good experience.
Dr. Tessner and the medical professionals at QC Kinetics treat patients like Rob using regenerative medicine that helps heal and restore damaged joints with no downtime.
I wasn't really exercising much, and I gained weight because of that. So the upside of it obviously is I'm able to exercise without any pain or stiffness in the knee, and it's got my cardiovascular system back into shape, and I feel a lot better. And again, lost the weight. So what more can you ask for?
Call QC Kinetics for your complimentary consultation in Dublin or Gahanna. 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. Or go to qckinetics.com/Columbus.
Hey folks, Bobby Carpenter here. I picked up my brand new Toyota Tundra last week, and I absolutely love it. From my guy Marcello at Germain Toyota. And right now, you can lease the powerful Toyota Tundra SR5 for just $409 per month. That's 36 months, 10,000 miles per year. Built to handle tough jobs and thrilling journeys. The Toyota Tundra SR5 is the ultimate companion for work and play. These deals are rolling out fast, so don't wait. Visit Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road or online at germaintoyota.net. Offer ends soon. See dealer for details.
Barely 5 hours a week. It's how much time most of us spend outdoors. Not nearly enough time getting lost in canopies of breathtaking fall colors. Brilliant hues extending all across America's third most forested state. We could all use a little more time outdoors, soothing mind, body, and spirit in West Virginia. Plan your fall getaway at wvtourism.com.
Dick from Dayton says, listen to the Ryan Day Show. Paul Keels and Jim Lachey join Coach every Thursday from noon to 1.
Presented by Roosters, a fun casual joint, and official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
The Fan.
Hey, it's Anthony Rothman for the Bath Authority. It's time to make your bath and shower something you really love. Something so great, your singing in the shower comes from a genuine place of happiness. Don't keep staring at that outdated bath, the mold, the mildew, the broken tiles. Every unit from the Bath Authority is custom built. You choose the premium accents and accessories. Right now, get free installation on your new bath or shower, plus 36 months of 0% interest. Visit thebathauthority.com. That's thebathauthority.com. A better bath awaits.
I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. As a business owner in these uncertain economic times, you struggle to guard your life's work against unexpected challenges. But can it withstand the sudden disruption of a divorce? In divorce, financials are scrutinized and the company itself could be in jeopardy. When your hard-earned work is at risk, count on our experience and advocacy in handling these matters at Cordell & Cordell.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Columbus area attorneys. 10 West Broad Street, Suite 1550, Columbus, Ohio, 43215. CordellCordell.com.
Home ownership. At Progressive, we know it's part of the American dream. It's majestic golden eagles and other less majestic birds taunting you to the baseball-sized hole in your new windows. It's soaring guitar solos performed through faulty wiring in your garage, which subsequently erupts into flames. It's also round-the-clock protection when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive, which can help keep the American dream of home ownership alive and kicking. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
This college football moment is brought to you by ServPro.
College football teams have moments they recovered from and made it like it never even happened. For instance, TCU walked into the locker room at halftime in the 2016 Alamo Bowl, down 31-0. The Horned Frogs stormed into the second half and erased a 31-point deficit to force overtime, and eventually won it in the third overtime, 47-41.
ServPro, like it never even happened.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
The sun is out with a high of 80 degrees. Clear tonight, lows in the low 50s. Warmer tomorrow with a high of 86 under sunny skies. Sunny again on Wednesday with a high of 90. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
It's almost Football Friday. All play and no work.
Sponsored by Tansky's Sawmill Toyota.
Your home for football, The Fan. Bobby played football for Bill Parcells and Bill Belichick. Beamer played football for a drunk named Joe who worked at the gas station. You're listening to Morning Juice.
We here on The Juice, brought to you by our good friends over at Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. You can always visit them on the line at feelgreatcolumbus.com.
What's got you juiced?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Big Monday here, Bob. Coming off a full weekend of football. What's got you fired up today?
Oh, goodness. That full weekend of football, the Thursday, the Friday, the Saturday. the Sunday. We got the Monday night tonight, Beam. It's all there for you. The Buckeye defense playing really, really stinking well. That has got me juiced up today. Love seeing those guys go out and play like that, dominating, doing a great job. So pretty darn excited about that. I know there's a lot of folks probably juiced up about Michigan getting throttled by Texas. Feeling good about that. I would like to see most of the Big Ten teams win most of their games so that the games against Ohio State will be better. And watching Nebraska, TCB, taking care of, oh gosh, ripped my headset off.
You got so excited. You just ripped them off your head.
Taking care of business against Colorado was tremendous. Thought that would happen.
You thought Deshaun was getting shelled yesterday.
Yeah, Shador. And then not holding anything back either in the post-game presser, which is probably not the way you want to handle that. But, Beam, I'll get that figured out. And my guy, Sly Stallone, Shark, why don't we fire that up?
There are only three types of people in your life. First are the leaf people. These are people who come into your life just for a season. They're there to take what they need. And as soon as it gets cold or a wind blows in your life, they are gone. Second are the branch people. Although they are stronger than leaves, you have to test them out before you run out there and put all your weight on them. They may stay with you for a few seasons, but they will break away when life becomes tough. And finally, the root people. These people are very important because they don't do things to be seen. Their only wish is to support you and help you live a strong and healthy life. And even if you go through a difficult time, they will hold you up. They love you just the way you are.
Be a root person, Shark. What Sly's got to say.
That's how I church it up. I go from my Rocky work boots to my fancy Justin or Tony Lama boots. That right there makes the outfit fancy.
Yes, it does. Church it up. I like that. Like you guys, I am very juiced about the Buckeyes, and I don't care that it was only Western. You almost feel like you have to apologize.
Paid them a couple of million bucks to come in here.
Think about how Penn State fans are feeling today against a MAC team.
What about Notre Dame?
Notre Dame fans against a MAC team.
Has anybody checked in on Bodie?
No, I saw him laying in the parking lot.
Okay. Is that the speed bump that he hit?
I'm sure he was a little happier 20 hours later when his Cowboys clobbered the Browns. But anyway, I'm just here to celebrate the dominance, celebrate the big win over Western Michigan, and let the naysayers be naysayers.
Who's naysaying today?
90, because, you got the keyboard artist at it saying, well, who have they played? They gave up 6 points in 2 games, but who cares? Who have they played? Well, again, Bowling Green scored 27 against Penn State. So anyway, 99 yards total defense. That is the best since they gave up 66 yards to Maryland 7 years ago. You had a freshman with a 100-yard game for the first time since Garrett Wilson 5 years ago. And Ryan Day, 58 games in, he's won 50. That's pretty darn good. Howell's League of Champs.
Yeah.
Eliminator Challenge. We have a winner.
All right.
Everybody took the Bengals.
After 1 week, everybody took the Bengals except my little 13-year-old grandson, Jude. Don't call me Julian.
He went against his guy, Joe B.
He took New Orleans. And so,
gosh, that was a good pick.
He has won.
He was sitting pretty at the buffet.
that game was over with 10 minutes left to go in the first quarter.
Oh, man. Yeah. Carolina. Wow.
Good thing they drafted Bryce Young.
Good thing they gave up so much for him to get him.
And then with this transfer portal, I'm flipping channels all day Saturday. I had forgotten that Evan Pryor's at Cincinnati. He had, I think, 5 carries for 4 yards.
They
how they lost that game, I'll never know. That game was over.
They blew it. They
blew it. Then we know what Kyle did at Syracuse. We know what Quinn did up in Ann Arbor. Chip Trainum, he must be injured because he hasn't taken a snap yet for Kentucky this season. And
saw Dallin Hayden late in the game against Nebraska.
Dallin Hayden.
Who would want to run behind those guys?
And then Julian Fleming. I thought that was going to be the go-to guy for Drew Aller. He's got 1 catch for 3 yards in 2 games over at Penn State.
He's played a lot. They've just been targeting the younger guys.
Yeah. Yeah, that's for sure. Anyway, Beamsy, what has you juice?
What's got me juice? We had talked about this guy in the offseason, and I hope he stays injury-free. J.K. Dobbins has got me juice.
Yes.
J.K. yesterday, 10 carries, 135 yards, touchdown, had a couple of huge runs as well. I mean, he's got me all sorts of fired up. It was great to see him back. And healthy, Bob. And I mean, they're going to run him a lot in that offense. I know that Jim Harbaugh likes to run the football, and they did that yesterday to the tune of 176 yards, with J.K. getting 135 of those. So good to see him back and healthy, and good to see him with that performance, man. That was really awesome. What else am I fired up about? Well, the Bears didn't score an offensive touchdown, and they won a football game with 24 points. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
The Steelers almost did that.
Yeah, the Steelers didn't score a touchdown and ended up winning the football game. I was reading this about Caleb Williams, and it said Caleb Williams' 55.7 passer rating is the 11th worst debut among all quarterbacks picked first overall since 1970s. The list of performances worse than him includes John Elway, who had a 0.0, Terry Bradshaw with a 19.3, Matt Stafford with a 27.4, Troy Aikman had a 40.2, and Eli Manning with a 45.1.
I would say in defense of those players, they were in much worse situations than he's in.
Caleb's in a great situation, and he was not very good yesterday, but the Bears defense was. So very fired up about that they got it done. Should have seen a live camera inside of my house when Tyreek Stevenson picked that and House called it for a pick six. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. They're going to win the football game. Will Levis can't throw that ball. Bengals and the Browns, they can't get out of their own way to start the season. That's next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning. Right now, watch for crews clearing a crash on I-71 heading southbound right at 17th Avenue. Also out in Newark, State Route 16 westbound. Expect some lane closures just a little bit east of the city. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Dormar, your pilot hero.
Dormar can be there today, guaranteed. Visit them at dormarhvac.com.
The Columbus Men's Clinic opened in 2014 for guys who get it done. Let's talk, fellas. You solve problems all day at work. You fix your sink when it's broken. But when it comes to ED and low T, it doesn't get done. We get it. You hate going to the doctor, but you're the guy that fixes things. At the Columbus Men's Clinic, there's nothing to fear and no reason to delay. We've been destroying bedroom boredom for a decade. So if you haven't fixed this, call us. When the pills fail, call us. If you feel like you've tried everything, call us. Here, there's hope. From the conventional to the next level. You'll be seen by our friendly, discreet physician who will take the time to listen. Imagine finally taking care of this with no surgery. Imagine going from feeling gray to living life in vibrant color. It's time to be confident. Join the thousands of guys who have found success after walking through our doors. Will you be one of them? Dial 614-300-7400 or go to columbusmensclinic.com to schedule a $99 male performance consultation, including blood work. Do it for you. Do it for her. columbusmensclinic.com. Book your appointment now.
PGA Tour's rising stars are back at the Nationwide Children's Hospital Championship September 19th through 22nd, and so is Pub 13. Grab your friends, cheer for birdies, and enjoy drink specials on the 13th green. Get your free tickets at ncc-golf.com.
Oh, what?
Would you please just call the Waterworks?
At the Waterworks, we mean clean. Better care, better value, better results.
It's time that we face the facts when it comes to organ, eye, and tissue donation. It exists to save and heal lives. It's a way to look out for one another, to continue a legacy and give the gift of a fuller future, the gift of life.
But what about the barriers around organ donation?
Cost, age, religion, race, or health status are not factors that can get in the way. All it really takes is one epic yes. Register today to become an organ, eye, and tissue donor at donatelifeohio.org.
Football is built on tradition, and so is the Hinderer Motor Company. This is Justin Hinderer. With a lifetime powertrain warranty on every vehicle purchase, you know you're getting a relationship that's built to last. Need service? Our Carvenience service takes care of everything, from picking up your vehicle to dropping it off when it's done, leaving you with a rental car in between. And with 4 dealerships and a collision center, Hinderer Motor Company is your one-stop shop for all things automotive. Visit HindererMotorCompany.com. We love what moves you.
This is the story of the one. As a warehouse manager, her job is to transform chaos into clarity and to see patterns where others see problems. Luckily, she's got a partner who shares her perspective. Grainger offers over 1 million industrial-grade products, backed by real-person support and in-depth online resources, so she can tackle every task with precision and turn potential setbacks into streamlined success. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I went hands-free.
I went hands-free.
I went hands-free.
I went hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins.
Join the millions of people who are celebrating going hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins. Footwear you just step into and they're on.
It's crazy how something as simple as a pair of shoes have made my life better.
After trying Skechers Slip-ins, I want all my shoes to have this technology.
See what everybody can't stop talking about. Go hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning, I'm Mark Fisher. Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott agreed to a new 4-year, $240 million contract just hours before the season opener, then went out and celebrated with an easy 33-17 win over the Browns in Cleveland. Prescott becomes the first player in NFL history to average $60 million per season. In Cincinnati, the Bengals also laid an egg in their season opener. Ramondre Stevenson rushed for 120 yards and a touchdown as the Patriots stunned the Bengals 16-10. In baseball, it was the hottest day in Dodger Stadium history, 103 degrees at game time. Shohei Ohtani hit his 46th home run of the season as L.A. blanked Cleveland 4-0. In New York, Santiago Espinal's 2-run double in the ninth gave the Reds a 3-1 win over the Mets. This Sports Center is sponsored by the Waterworks. Trust the pros at the Waterworks for all your plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling needs. Visit thewaterworks.com to get started. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan.
It's Reaction Monday, where our highly trained experts talk football.
Sponsored by the Roofing Guys.
Your home for reaction and overreaction. The Fan. Just a couple of dudes being guys.
What's better than this? Guys being dudes.
You're listening to Morning Juice.
Hour number 3 of the program for us on a Reaction Monday. Brandon Bean, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark. Coming up here tomorrow at this exact time, Schlegs. He's going to join the program. And here in about 30 minutes time, around 8:33 this morning, Joshua Perry. He's going to join the program and react to everything that was going on in the college football world this weekend.
Keeping you informed about what's trending this morning. It's time for a little re-rack on Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus, your destination for top-of-the-line grills with up to 30-year warranties. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Buckeyes hammer Western Michigan 56-0. 99 total yards allowed by the Buckeye defense. 683 total yards for it. Ends up being 56-0, the final score. Buckeyes with an off week. They are calling it improvement week here as they get an early bye week to start the season. They get another one in there, too. Interesting. They get 2 bye weeks coming up here this season. In baseball, Guards lose 2 out of 3 to the Dodgers. Good news for you, Sharky, there at the White Sox tonight. Now, the bad news is that the Royals swept the Twins.
Yes.
So they're only 2.5 games back now.
Yes.
But good news, you play the White Sox.
Yes.
So
Grady Size, manager Grady Size.
Manager.
Tribe legend.
Tribe legend.
I'll tell you what, man. My cousin.
Most handsome center fielder of all time.
My cousin, she's a year older than me. She loves some Grady Sizemore.
Theme. All the ladies love Grady.
I loved Grady. He was great.
Has he recovered from all his injuries yet, Shark?
Oh, man. That was a brutal knee injury he suffered. One day he's an all-star, and next day his career's over.
Tough.
Got Michael Brantley back there.
They're 33-111, the White Sox are. What's the record?
The record is 40 wins in a season by the 62 Mets. So they got to win. They got to win 8 more to surpass that.
I don't know if that's going to. I was hoping they could lose 130, but I don't think that's going to be the case since they've already won 33.
They have 20 games left in the season.
Yeah, but they've already won 33, so they can't lose 130. The most they can lose, if they didn't win any more, would be 129.
Yeah, you're right. Still not a very good year.
Yeah, but if you're going to be bad, just be the worst. I mean, really lean into it.
If you're going to suck, just suck. This is what Scotty Vegas once said on the golf course. Reds lose 2 out of 3 in New York against the Mets. They're at the Braves coming up here tonight. Seattle hammer the Crew 4-0 over at Lower.com Field on Saturday. Listen, it was international call-ups. There was no Cucho. There was no Jason Russell Rowe. A lot of different guys out. Your 2 goalies were out on international duty. Bob. And so you play your third-string goalie who ends up getting a red card. Then Sean Zawatsky has to play goalie.
I love that. That would be so great to get. That's like if you get pulled into pitch, I always think that would be tremendous. People are like, oh, that would be terrible. I'm like, why? The expectations are so low for you.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, what does it matter? And you're playing goalie, like it's not near as high profile as being a pitcher where you literally have to get the outs to get the game over with.
Just save a couple of balls. You actually get to use your hand. You should have more of an advantage now.
I mean, it's like, cool, man. I get to put on the cool shirt, get some gloves over here.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Be ready to rock. So they get hammered 4-0. They got Hell is Real coming up this Saturday down in Cincinnati. Your Sunday night football game last night was a pretty good one. Speaking of former Buckeye Sharky, J-Mo with a big touchdown bomb in last night's game. 26-20 being the final score. Lions getting it done over the Rams in overtime. I'll be completely honest with you. I crashed out at halftime. I was having a hard time keeping my eyes open.
We went upstairs at half, and I was like, I'm going to go to bed. Court said, you want to turn the game on? I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm like, I just turned on for the halftime show. And she's like, really? I'm like, she thought I was joking, like Kendrick Lamar, like halftime show like that. Like, no, that way I can kind of see what happened.
Yeah.
Anything I missed throughout the day, we can dive into that because we had, a flag football game at 11, another one at 2, some stuff, soccer games, everything. So I was in and out, but I caught most of it. I was watching RJ play. The UA freshman played Watterson, and I had the quad box going on with that Texas-Michigan, and then I was zipping around. I'm trying to think what other games were in the news early. Oh, Penn State Bowling Green. That was the other good one in there.
Mm-hmm.
Quad box is great, even on the phone.
Yeah.
I mean, it just gives you everything you need.
It's got so much pop to it.
It really does. I was trying to convince Hester. He had DirecTV. He's like, I'm getting killed here with this deal. I'm like, dude, I'm telling you, just dive all in. It's time to go. It's time to go to the quad box opportunity.
It's just so good.
It's right there, and you can take it with you. It's
on the fly.
It's always there. You don't have to worry about mindfulness. You can watch. You got the internet. You got the cable. You got the cable.
You talk about not worrying about mindfulness. I'll tell you, was the least mindful thing is NFL Red Zone.
Oh yeah.
Whoosh, boom, boom. We're going here to this game, and we're going to that game, and this is what's going on here. I'm sitting there watching Scott Hansen talk about all this, like, I feel like I'm getting beat up in a fight right now.
Exactly. That's why they said with your order of it, they give you a bottle of Xanax to help chill you out on Sundays. But last night I ended up watching it probably almost to the end of the fourth quarter or end of the third.
Yeah,
because it was fun. I mean, the Rams started having to come back in the second half, and I was happy for Matthew. I mean, he just getting shelled out there early on. I mean, they're like Cleveland, them with their tackle situation.
Yeah. Well, they were missing 3 of them.
Oh, Aiden Hutchinson was just teeing off.
Was it Jonah Jackson moved to center?
And then he had moved from guard over to center, so he was playing center.
Recently played center at Rutgers when he came over to Ohio State. Hadn't played center since guard.
And then he had played guard with Detroit.
Yeah.
And then he went to this year in free agency, went out to the Rams and played well. But, I mean, it was a disaster. And Detroit looks really good, man. They look really good, especially after Lene's brother went down.
Mm-hmm.
Puka couldn't find him in the second half beam.
No, he
disappeared.
A lot of fantasy.
Like an aberration.
A lot of fantasy owners were not happy about that. And then Cooper Kupp was awesome.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp, it was good. I love it. Chris Collinsworth, he runs out there running a 4.6. Just
all right,
open.
Collinsworth at one point, he goes, "This is the best pass you're going to see all season." I'm like, it's week 1. It's week number 1.
Don't undersell it. Like, let's go. Let's lean on it. Everything now, folks, it's always the greatest ever, the best of all time.
I'm like, it was a nice pass by Matt Stafford.
Matt's really good. J-Mo also really good. Very fast.
Really fast.
Very fast, that one. I'm loving that. It's been a rough start to his career. Coming off the torn ACL to start the season. Last year, he started with a gambling suspension. My kids looked over and be like, what? I'm like, can't bet on game. Can't bet when you're playing in the NFL.
They did
From
that.
The team facility.
They did that, too, with... It was the same exact situation with Nicholas Petit-Frere for the Titans. Watching the Bears game yesterday, they're like, gambling policy violation and a hamstring injury. Cost him a lot of his season last year. I'm like,
fresh off his recent suspension.
Mm-hmm. Can't do that.
But it was fun. I mean, the NFL was a fun weekend. I mean, unless you're a Browns and Bengals fan, that was just
those were
bludgeoning. But the game last night, I got to watch because I love Dan Campbell, love Detroit, love my guy Matty. I just wanted to see everybody kind of play well. That Detroit team, they play with intensity. They're nasty. They're tough.
Yeah.
I think the Rams are going to be better than people think. If they can get Pooks back, they'll be okay.
I'm with you. I think there's a real shot that they can compete with the 49ers in that division. I think the Rams are a really terrific team. The terrific team.
They've got a good squad.
That's a hard place to go and play in Detroit, too. I know it's not the biggest stadium in the world, Bob, but it was raucous last night.
It is awesome. The fans there are terrific. Like, if you give them a winner, they will cheer. It's the same thing in Cleveland.
Yeah.
It's the same type of people. They just want a winner so bad, and they were so bad for so long. And then you got this guy, Man Campbell, coming in. Not your guy, Kevin Stefanski.
Or Deshaun.
Shark, who has a manicured beard, who walks around, doesn't say anything in press conferences.
How was his postgame yesterday?
It was about 6 minutes, 54 seconds, and I got 2 sound bites out of it because everything was just a small 6-word response.
Here's Kevin Stefanski yesterday about the pressure that Deshaun Watson was under.
He got hit way too often. We can't let that happen to him. He fought like crazy. And listen, the football team fought like crazy to the end. But bottom line is we have to protect our quarterback better than that.
That's about all what he said in his entire 6-minute press conference.
And then you get Man Campbell on the other side, biting kneecaps, being tough, setting a tone, just getting up there being crazy. Something about his wife not liking something about him. Like, it was just some great. He's an open book for you. You love him up there.
Yeah, for sure, man. So they take down the Rams 26-20 in overtime. Not done with football just yet because you got the Jets and the 49ers tonight at 8 o'clock. That's an 8:20 start. That will be right here on the Fan.
Fun.
That'll be right here on the Fan after Buckeye Roundtable. Yeah, it should be good. Hopefully Aaron Rodgers plays more than 4 plays tonight.
Going back to the Bay, Cal product.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it'll be interesting to kind of see how he does, how that Jets team looks. They said it's safe to say that what's his name isn't going to be playing Beam, their defensive end.
Hassan Reddick.
Hassan Reddick.
Yeah, that's a mess.
Conscience
you think the Jamar Chase situation is bad if you're a Bengals fan? If you don't know about this situation, so Hassan Reddick played for the Eagles, was traded in the offseason because he wasn't going to get a new contract with the Eagles. He's got 1 year left to go on his deal, traded from the Eagles to the Jets. And said
their second-round pick?
Second or third, somewhere in there. And literally said, I'm excited, did his press conference when he got there, and then hasn't shown up to anything since then because the Jets
thought he was getting a new deal.
And the Jets said, no, we're not going to give you a new deal. Or here's the deal that we're willing to give you. Here's what you want. And we're so far apart that he hasn't even been at the facility. So you think the Jamar situation is bad? Jamar played. I mean, necessarily wasn't the break the top off the kind of defensive guy yesterday that I think he's going to be ultimately here towards the middle of the season for the Bengals. But that situation for the Jets is awful.
Yeah, very. Use the term tenuous, Beam. It's a tenuous situation, but we'll see if Aaron can overcome it. I heard some interviews and stuff with him as I was driving in this morning.
On Ayahuasca Radio.
Iowa, yes. But just talking about when it hurt, he's like, you could tell something was wrong. Didn't want to go down like that.
Yeah.
Your whole career flashed before your eyes. Like, is this the last time I'm ever going to play? So it's like it gives you a year to reset. It stinks, but you have to reset your whole life and everything that goes into it and prioritize stuff. And I think he's excited to go out there and play. I'm excited to watch him to see what he can do. People are kind of fading him. I'm like, don't ever fade Aaron Rodgers too quickly. The guy has a lot of juice.
I tried to do that. I tried to speak it into existence for years.
Yeah,
it just doesn't work.
And then at least some good news for Packers fans. Bad news for you being that Jordan Love, I guess, does not have a torn ACL.
Yeah.
Just a little MCL. And
that grass was awful.
Here's the thing, folks. I'll tell you this, because Spence was alluded to it. Soccer fields are not great for football fields because
the grass is different.
Well, they don't make them as firm because they don't need to be, because the soccer guys out there weigh 180 pounds.
Yeah.
And they play over the entirety of the field.
Yep.
Where football, it's much more of a condensed sport, and the guys are so much heavier, and they're pushing directly into each other. And so football fields, they are rolled, they are stamped, they push sand into them, like they're a much firmer base. Soccer, you do not do that, and they don't want to do that.
They want the grass to give, like when they slide. I mean, they want the grass. They want that grass to give.
But the problem with that is that when you try to put football on it, it gives way too much.
Yeah, and like those guys, those guys aren't cutting with as much force either, and they're all playing in the same exact spot on the field instead of it being spread out. To your point, so yeah, was MCL sprain for Jordan Love? It'll be like a 3-weeker, I think.
Yeah,
3 to 4 week. Malik Willis not very good in spot time for Jordan Love. So we'll see what happens for them. Buckeyes made a massive jump from week 1 to week 2. We'll get into that coming up next. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning. Right now, we are watching slow-moving traffic on I-270 northbound to I-270 westbound over on the north side of town. This is right just beyond the State Route 3 Westerville Road exit. We've got the right lanes blocked off over there as crews work to clear up 2 separate crashes. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
While the world whizzes by, enjoy a moment of me time with Tim Hortons $6 breakfast bundle. Savor a small hot or iced coffee, then add your choice of a mouth-watering hot breakfast sandwich and a crispy golden hash brown and your pick of a classic donut. All for $6, all just for you. Make your mornings all about me time with our $6 breakfast bundle. Available at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. Price and participation vary. Terms apply.
If your air conditioning or furnace stops working in the middle of the night, on a weekend, or over a holiday, there's no reason to wait to get it fixed. For 100 years, Atlas Butler has been here for your family. We're always open, we work on all furnace and air conditioner brands, and it's easy and convenient to request service. Call today, get it fixed today. That's our pledge to you.
Atlas Butler's at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
Hey, you've reached Teresa and Benny. You know the drill.
Hey, Teresa, it's Armando from Chase. Congrats on closing. I'm sure Benny will love playing fetch in your new backyard.
Your Chase Home Lending Advisor will be there from pre-approval to closing. We're with you all the way home. Chase, make more of what's yours. Visit chase.com/home. Home lending products subject to credit and property approval. Rates and program terms subject to change. Other restrictions apply. Member FDIC. Equal housing opportunity.
Football is all about scoring big, and so is Hinderer Motor Company. This is Justin Hinderer. With 4 dealerships and a collision center, you're sure to find the perfect vehicle. Plus, every vehicle purchase comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty. Our Carvenience service picks up your car, gives you a rental, and returns it without you lifting a finger. Score big today. Experience the difference and visit HindererMotorCompany.com. We love what moves you.
Rothman and Ice.
Each room, Maddie, is named after a famous golfer. Nicklaus Room, Palmer Room, Tiger Woods, all that.
Anthony Rothman Room.
Yes.
Rothman and Ice. Weekdays at noon.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus.
The Fan.
Kemba Financial Credit Union pays you to save. Get a $300 bonus with a new money market account and earn a premium interest rate on your money. It adds up to big-time savings for your goals and dreams. Visit Kemba.org to check our rates and learn more. Restrictions apply. Bonus requires Advantage status and $10,000 minimum balance be deposited in the first 30 days and maintained to qualify for a $100 bonus at 90 days and $200 at 180 days after opening. Federally insured by NCUA. Offer ends September 30th.
At AAA, it's our policy to look on the plus side, and AAA Plus members tend to take the same view. Take Martin. Last Monday, his coffee surprised him with an extra 10 degrees of Fahrenheit. It was just the jolt of energy he needed. Later, when he walked into a door, he was happy to provide entertainment for his coworkers.
I'm okay.
And when his car battery took early retirement, he knew expert roadside assistance was only a call away.
Hello, AAA.
Become a AAA Plus member and experience peace of mind on the plus side. Towing is subject to a 7-day waiting period. Terms and conditions apply.
Did you and your family lose Ohio Medicaid and need health coverage? Check this out. You may be eligible to enroll in a low-cost health plan at healthcare.gov. With the new law, 4 out of 5 customers can find a plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Healthcare.gov offers quality plans that cover doctor visits, prescriptions, emergency care, and more. Healthcare.gov is here for you. Enroll today for coverage starting the 1st of next month. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Ohio's public schools are safe, welcoming places where every student of every race, background, gender, and ability can learn from exceptional educators who are dedicated to their success. As we get into the swing of this new school year, Ohio Education Association members across the state are once again using our united voices to call for the supports and resources our public schools need. Please stand with us as strong partners so every child can get the great public education they deserve. Because in Ohio, public education matters.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Sunny today, sunny tomorrow, pretty much sunny every day this week. Temperature will be around 80 today, 54 tonight, and 86 for the high on your Tuesday. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
FanDuel is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
If you can find a show that's closer to Buckeye football, it would be hosted by Ryan Day. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Here's Long here, little Reaction Monday edition of the program. Brandon Bean, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark. 8:35 here momentarily in our next segment. Joshua Perry, he's going to join the program. We'll recap and react to everything that was going on in a weird weekend of college football for sure. So the JP coming up here about 15 minutes time. Wes said on the YouTube chat, again, I mean, you can watch us on YouTube, type in 97.1 The Fan. You can go there, stream all of our shows live. He goes, Watson's still bad, $230 million bad. He wasn't good, that's for sure. And I don't know exactly what you're going to get out of him. Now, it was a two-way relationship yesterday because the offensive line was also really bad, and he was bad, and then you ultimately get a really bad product on the football field yesterday.
Yeah. And Tom probably didn't add to the juice. People are now upset, but I think Browns fans are just generally upset today. So if they can throw a little dispersion at Brady as well, and Wes said you don't need the red zone, you just get the Octabox. You know that was filled, the two TVs. So I pulled the second TV out, and it'd been sitting in the living room. Corey's like, I hate it. I don't like it in here. I'm like, it doesn't look good. I'm like, I don't care how it looks. Screw people that judge us for coming in here that we have a TV on a stand beside another TV.
This is football.
And I do forget that we have a built-in shelf that I have a TV in there that's hidden. So I could probably pull that one out. But it's not as big. That's only like a little 40-incher. I've got like a 55 on a stand adjacent to the 65. So like you can do, usually I do one Octobox and then one real game, or one quad box and one real game. And then I keep the one main game on the whole time.
Yeah.
Like if that's like for college football Saturdays, I'd be like Ohio State. And then I'd have another one. And then sometimes I slither out the other TV and may have like a second game of primary viewing interest. But I can't watch more than two screens with any real efficiency. I figured
No, none. The quad box is almost, it's just enough for me.
Well, it's perfect because if the game goes to a commercial, you can always, that's when I'll watch the other stuff. Like of the other games.
Yep.
But I go to put it on yesterday.
Bringing out the TV?
The TV's fine because I use the TV to shoot my show with slugs. I wheeled it into my office. That's what Court was very happy. Put it behind the camera, so it's essentially my prompter. It has everything up. It's huge, real big, all great. The Fire Stick wasn't working. I wanted to lose my mind. And then as she's trying to troubleshoot, I go, we have 3 different fire remotes that I go, we have a label maker. Why haven't we done this? I said, put the labels on the back so I know which one goes with which. No, and we didn't do it. And none of them were working. Now, I still haven't determined yet. I pulled the Fire Stick out and threw it across the room because I have it for that reason. This is the one time I needed it. And I didn't even think of the fact that maybe the one remote that goes to that TV that should be working it, maybe those batteries don't work.
Yeah.
That goes to that fire. So we didn't even get to that. I'll get to that tomorrow. But she runs it off her phone. And you can run the Fire Sticks off your phone.
Oh, yeah, you can do the remote off
your phone. The problem is in doing that, it starts changing the other TV. I'm like, stop it. Stop. She's like, I'm just trying to fix. No, you're making it worse. Because now instead of watching one quad box and complaining about the other one, you're moving this around and going off of what I need to go. And I'm trying to compete with remotes, trying to figure this out. You've got to get away from this or put some sort of
I don't want a large Farva. I want a liter of cola.
I want a liter of cola. Go get one of the dentist's lead vests and put that on so you block the signal from going back to that TV. Okay? I need something done so I can watch my games. I mean, it's a lot there, I know. I get it.
My games. I need to watch my games.
I need to watch the games though, Beam. Like I'm dancing around. We got the kids stuff. I'm trying to watch all these. We had a 2:00 window for Cullen's game, and he was hurt, so he didn't play. And it was done by 3:15, so it worked out well.
Yeah.
So
you got to see the witching hour.
Yeah, I got back in time to watch Cleveland fully melt it down.
Yep.
Cincinnati give it away. Your boy Will Levis just throwing the football in the air like
do it
like a child.
Did you see at the end of the game? So the Bears won again. Caleb Williams bad. like really bad. They had the ball in the red zone. He took a 19-yard sack on first down, like kicked them out of field goal range.
Can't
At the
do
end
that.
of the
I
game,
love the commenters like, can't do that, rookie. Like, you gotta learn.
Can't do it. Just eat it.
You'll learn that you can't outrun all these guys like you could in college.
It's a
They're
different
all fast.
speed you're working with. At the end of the game, again, bad. Caleb Williams, not very good. They ended up winning the football game because of a special teams touchdown and a defensive touchdown. Vintage Bears. And I'm watching the end of the game. Caleb Williams is like running out of the football, blowing kisses to the fans. I'm like, you did nothing. You didn't do anything. And he's like, I'm the hero. Man, I don't know. I don't know.
They always said when you get sacks, like if you're in a sack and there's multiple guys there, first to celebrate usually gets the sack or at least the split of it, even if you weren't. So first you just pop up and you start celebrating. Yeah. Camera goes, you're like, oh, look at such and such with the sack. Yeah, and then you go back, you're like, wait a second, you got kind of jumped on late, or like he wasn't really the primary guy. First to celebrate, gets it every time. And that's what Caleb, he's just going to speak it into existence. If I pretend like I'm the hero of the movie, then I get to be the hero.
And I was quad boxing too, and I had, so my other game that I had on opposite of the Bears, I had the Bengals on, and then I had the Steelers on, and I'm watching Justin run through the Falcons defense like a lightning bolt, and I'm like, oh my God.
And Justin didn't play, by the way, the Bears offense significantly better than the Steelers offense, but.
You mean just like roster?
Yes.
Yeah.
Players that they have.
Yes.
Better offensive line, much better receivers, and better running game. Steelers find a way to win. But here's the problem, is that I think Caleb Williams, if you've ever seen Good Will Hunting, Ben Affleck wrote it with Damon, but he was the primary writer. But you get your buddy who's the best to be the lead. Mm-hmm. I think Caleb was Ben in that movie, but thought that he was Matt Damon. He thought that he was the star instead of like lead two. Like just don't screw it up. Ben, all you're doing in that is just getting the line back to Matt Damon so he can get it and get it done. That's all you're doing. Let him and Robin Williams be the star. You just navigate the side stuff. Show up, be the friend, all that.
I'm going to make the speech at the Oscars.
100%. And Caleb wanted to die, jump on out there, painted nails, Bears. Like, what is going on here? What are we doing? I mean, Justin Fields, like his quarterback rating was a 91.
He was good yesterday.
His QBR was a 42.9. Not great, but his quarterback rating was a 91.9. Like, given the fact he threw for 156 yards, no touchdowns, no picks, he also rushed it for like 57 yards, had a 12-yard
They
line.
also won the football game, and they're the only team that won in the AFC North.
Here's the good news. He basically doubled up Kirk Cousins. He was at least 70-80% higher than Kirk Cousins on most of his measurements. Over there, Kirk Cousins, who paid a bazillion to, threw for 155 yards.
Kirk bad.
And then also got sacked at the very end of the game by T.J. Watt.
Threw an awful pick, too.
Yeah. There was some bad ball yesterday, man.
There was some bad ball yesterday. You're right about that. Is that a training camp issue?
It's the fact that none of these guys play.
Yeah.
And even Kirk, who's played a lot. Now, granted, he's coming off an injury and different things. Like, but a lot of these guys don't play that much. The young guys are like, oh, this is faster than the regular season or preseason. Yeah, because you have real dudes who are playing, who are studying, who are the best in the world at their position. They're going to be faster. The windows are going to be tighter.
They're also going to try to chop your head off.
And now these dudes are playing for cash. Like, you're playing for wins. Not like preseason nonsense, hang out, pads off, we're chilling. No, we were playing for this. We got 17 of these bad boys. We're going to win.
Russell
Wilson,
winning
time.
I'm inactive yesterday, and I'm still going to wear full pads on the sideline.
Buddy, I didn't even know that until you told me that. Yeah. And I'm not even sure that's legal in the NFL.
He did it.
The equipment guys, if you were inactive due to injury or whatever, they would always take your pads everywhere I was at, so you couldn't get dressed. That's how you knew. Russell had to literally probably go and ask them, and the guy's like, why? You're not going in just to feel like part of the team, baby. Steel curtain, Steeler on, or whatever his crazy thing he's going to make. Let's steal this.
We earned it.
Mr. Unlimited.
Hey, they're 1-0.
I saw that meme that I sent over to him. Shark, I'll have to show you. It's Russell Wilson driving to the game, and it's him like this guy workshopping like 8 different things. Let's steal this. No, we earned it. Like,
let's forge.
Let's forge. Like, it was awful. But I'm like, it's sad because it's inherently true.
Yeah.
I go, that is him. The guy probably recorded stuff.
Guy was working out in the pregame, working on his handshakes in the huddle. No one around him. He's awesome. Number 37 in your programs, number 1 in your heart. Joshua Perry. He's going to join us. We'll provide with his biggest takeaways from week 2 of college football next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning. Right now, we are watching slow-moving traffic on I-270 northbound to I-270 westbound over on the north side of town as crews work to clear up 2 separate crashes right near the State Route 3 Westerville Road exit. Watch for crews blocking the right shoulder over there. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
The Columbus Men's Clinic opened in 2014 for guys who get it done. Let's talk, fellas. You solve problems all day at work. You fix your sink when it's broken. But when it comes to ED and low T, it doesn't get done. We get it. You hate going to the doctor, but you're the guy that fixes things. At the Columbus Men's Clinic, there's nothing to fear and no reason to delay. We've been destroying bedroom boredom for a decade. So if you haven't fixed this, call us. When the pills fail, call us. If you feel like you've tried everything, call us. Here, there's hope. From the conventional to the next level. You'll be seen by our friendly, discreet physician who will take the time to listen. Imagine finally taking care of this with no surgery. Imagine going from feeling gray to living life in vibrant color. It's time to be confident. Join the thousands of guys who have found success after walking through our doors. Will you be one of them? Dial 614-300-7400 or go to ColumbusMen'sClinic.com to schedule a $99 male performance consultation, including blood work. Do it for you. Do it for her. ColumbusMen'sClinic.com. Book your appointment now.
Get your air conditioner fixed fast. Call Care Heating and Cooling, 1-800-COOLING.
Social media is fun, but it's not the whole picture. Comparing yourself to what you see online can be stressful. For more tips on reducing stress, go to mha.ohio.gov/check-in. A message from the Ohio Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services.
This September, Diamonds Direct's ultimate offer is back, stronger than ever. Diamonds Direct helps you get the perfect jewelry gift with 0% interest. That's right, enjoy 5 years of 0% financing on any Diamonds Direct purchase. It's your chance to get her the perfect ring with 0 interest and comfortable monthly payments that fit your budget. But act fast. This offer ends September 30th. For details and more, visit DiamondsDirect.com. Spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest on approved credit. Only at Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Join Skip Mossick, Paul Keels, and Jim Lachey for 2 whole hours of scarlet and gray goodness.
Thank you, football guy.
Buckeye Roundtable, Monday night at 6.
Presented by Burger King.
Your flagship home for Ohio State athletics. The Fan.
Heaven on earth. It's here in the mountain towns of West Virginia, draped in vibrant reds, yellows, and oranges. Some of America's most spectacular fall colors. The perfect backdrop to autumn adventure, from scenic train rides to fall festivals, and a cozy cabin waiting at the end of the day. Fall is almost heaven in West Virginia. Plan your getaway at wvtourism.com.
Hey friends, Brandon Beam here for Truehold. Home values in the city, well, they're sky high. We know that. You have a ton of equity. Your financial advisor thinks the market is peaked. So if you're thinking about selling, it's the right time, except for 2 things. High interest rates are going to burn you on a new home loan, and you're not ready to move. Savvy financial advisors suggest Truehold's new Sell and Stay program. It's ingenious because they buy your home now while its value is high, but you can stay in your home as long as you want with an easy, affordable lease. Pretty smart, right? Truehold is going to make you a solid cash offer, not a lowball offer like the others, and it's based on your home's current value. The cash is yours to travel, pay off bills, secure your retirement, and do whatever you want with it. It's your cash. And again, you can stay in your home with a comfortable lease. Truehold covers property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. See how much Truehold will pay for your home today. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. Again, that's Truehold.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free. with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. FeelGreatColumbus.com. The Fan.
Hash browns and smackdowns. You're listening to Morning Juice.
So Monday edition of the program. Brandon Bean, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark. Right now we head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Check with our great friend of NBC, former Buckeye, number 37 in your programs, number 1 in your heart. He is Joshua Perry. JP, happy Monday, buddy. Big weekend of college football on tap for us here. Coming off the weekend, stunner in South Bend as Notre Dame goes down to Northern Illinois.
Dude, it was crazy, and it was just the lead up to it felt like it should never be a possibility, but with Marcus Freeman, they've had some of these losses. You know, they had Marshall, they lost a bad Stanford team. Like we had seen Notre Dame drop the ball in some of these gimme type games, especially when they've had big games, big wins before that. But you know, we were talking about it in the pregame, and I think we forget as viewers, like, the guys from Northern Illinois aren't just there to show up and get their butts kicked and then go home. They're there to try to win a football game too. And that was a roster that had some veteran experience. It was an offense that in week 1 looked really good, a defense that I thought could do some tricky things. And for Notre Dame, even after beating Texas A&M, it was like, you know, run game's good. Don't know if Riley Leonard's really that guy. It was just a weird spot. But Notre Dame, again, super inconsistent when it comes to just winning games that they should. And the wild part about this is even with this loss, they've got a wide open, clear path to the college football playoff. So I'm curious to see how they bounce back. But it was like the biggest stunner that you could expect. Northern Illinois had never pulled off a victory against a top 10 team, and then they do it on the road in South Bend.
What do you think Notre Dame, though, Joshua, can sustain another loss given like the quality of this one and how it happened just a week after the A&M win?
It depends on what goes on around them, honestly. Like just nationally, what everybody looks like. I don't think they can because of the strength of schedule. But a 10-2 Notre Dame team at the end of the year, I don't know, right? Like you look around and say maybe they could be in. If they got a win against USC, for example, at the end of the year, it would certainly make their resume look pretty good. If Texas A&M ends up being a decent win by the end of the year, you could look around and say, does 10-2 get you there? If some other things, happen around them in college football to open up that path. I think the margin certainly goes away now, though, right? Like, and if you're Notre Dame, you feel like you got to run the schedule just to ensure that you can do it. These are the types of things you can't have happen, though, because you don't want to have that type of pressure on you for the rest of the season.
Well, no, you don't want that to happen, Joshua. And even if there is that hypothetical possibility for them to do that, like, their fans can't feel very good. Again, you dropped a home game against Northern Illinois.
Yeah, that's a tough part for Marcus right now, right? Like, year 3 is usually the year when Notre Dame coaches have done great things. I think historically, like, championships have come in year 3. Even for Brian Kelly, that was the year where he made it to the national championship game. And so I think a lot of people were expecting them to take this step, and they go on the road, Kyle Field, and they get a big win. It defensively should be one of the best units in the country by the end of the year. There were a lot of things that people were looking at and saying, this is our time. And it's unthinkable to lose that type of game. And I do think that even if they are winning, if they're not winning the way people want them to look winning, it's going to get a little antsy there in South Bend. I think people are going to, fair or not, they're going to have some things to say about Marcus.
Yeah, before we get to Ohio State, Penn State all the way to the wire with Bowling Green, a game that I think Bowling Green almost kind of, I'd say giveaway, but had a very legitimate opportunity to win at the end. I was ready to crown Penn State, Joshua, in that upper tier of the Big Ten. I mean, should I be moving off of that now?
I'm still trying to figure that out, right? Like, I don't want to overreact to what happened against Bowling Green. And again, like, Oregon, we can start asking that question a little bit too, because their game against Boise State was definitely down to the wire as well. I think there was a combination of the same thing that you saw with Notre Dame. You open up, big game on the road, week 1. You come home, week 2. Everybody's patting you on the back. They're telling you, oh, man, this is your chance. Oh, yeah, you're going to win the Big Ten. Oh, man, look at Michigan's down, and Ohio State got off to a slow start, and Oregon struggled like Penn State. Like, everybody on campus telling those guys, you're gonna win the Big Ten. Drew Allen, you're the best quarterback in the Big Ten right now, and you're comfortable on game day because you got a MAC team that's coming in there. You don't have a reason to be uncomfortable at home. I think that's a part of it. There's also this realistic idea that we have to reconcile with, and we don't trust James Franklin. So how much of it was kind of all of the after effects of winning a big game on the road in week 1, and how much of it is James Franklin, we don't trust him to be able to do the right thing by the end of the year. I think they're still a good ball team. Defensively, if they play like that on defense ever again, it's going to be done, because I think their offense is good, but they're not good enough to let a team like Bowling Green just run up and down the field on them. But I still think they're going to be in the mix there for the Big Ten. I don't know if it's as surefire as we thought it was.
He is Joshua Perry with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Where currently, after 2 weeks of the college football season, do you rank Michigan, Joshua?
I don't think Michigan is a top 25 team. We knew the offensive issues existed, and I will say this. I might become a Davis Warren defender after watching back the game tape. Like, interception, the first one, probably should have thrown the speed out to Colston Loveland. That was a bad play. Second one, he was under duress entirely too much. That offensive line is bad. And I'm watching their right tackle, and I promise you, this guy finished more plays on his back than he did on his feet. Like, that's the difference between what their offensive line was for the last 3 years and what it is this year. And so that affects the run game. That affects their quarterback play. The issue for me was the defense. They weren't getting lined up. They looked like they looked a little bit more unsound than I thought I would expect them to look, especially with Wink Martindale. And certainly if they can't tighten up on defense, there's no shot that they can even give their offense opportunities to stay in games. So 8-4, it feels like at this point, and that's not necessarily an overreaction. Like, the game tape was that ugly.
Buckeyes, almost 700 yards of offense. They held Western Michigan to under 100 yards defensively. Kind of any other thoughts from the game?
They did everything they were supposed to do in a game like this. I really liked what I saw from the offense in terms of the RPOs and how much movement there was, and the way Will Howard really fits into that, where he is a guy who throws pretty well on the run. He can hand that thing off, but he also has legs, and people have to respect that. It's great. Jeremiah could be a first-round pick this year, and I'm not trying to exaggerate when I say that. I think he is that good already, which is super impressive. And I love the way that the offense looked. Deep ball got to come along. I'm not going to be too critical. Defensively, 10 3-and-outs is a crazy number. This is what Ohio State is supposed to look like in a game like this. And Western Michigan, I think, is going to end up being a better team than people think based off of this score right here. But they came out, they dominated early on. Defense came all day long. Weren't a lot of mistakes there. And this is what you build off of, and this is what you continue to do. So I really liked it. And for teams that struggled, talk about Penn State struggling, Notre Dame lost, talk about Oregon struggling, right? Michigan got blown out at home. Hey, not a bad weekend. Just go in there and do your business and get home with the dub.
Are we fussing or are we laughing in the background?
There is some fussing, maybe some laughing, but it sounds a little fussy right now.
Hey, go tend to that. Thank you for the time as always. Have a great week, buddy, and we'll check in again next Monday, all right?
All right, appreciate you guys.
There he goes, Joshua Perry with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We're going to reveal our fan poll next. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning. Right now, we are still watching slow-moving traffic on the north side of town on I-270 northbound to those westbound lanes of I-270 right near Westerville Road. We've got crashes blocking the right lanes. Also, I-71 southbound right at 17th Avenue. Watch for crews clearing up a crash in the right shoulder over there. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance. Visit shelterinsurance.com and find an agent to help you choose the coverage you need. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. When it comes to being a Newman Roofing customer, you can trust they're always going to put your needs first. They're going to give you the white glove treatment so you feel confident you're making the best decision. So don't just get a roof, get a Newman roof. Give them a call at 614-NEW-ROOF, newmanroofing.com.
Score a goal with the Love My Crew checking account from Pathways, the checking account that rewards you for supporting the crew. Learn more at pathwayscu.com. Pathways Financial Credit Union, official credit union of the Columbus Crew, federally insured by NCUA.
Hey, it's Chaps. Mike, who lost 40 pounds with Awaken 180, he was in the same position I was in. Most likely you are in. Confused.
I spent so much money on personal trainers in the last 10 years. Didn't have a lot of discretionary income left. So I tried to listen to everybody else. What do you eat? You know, everyone said, eat healthy. Define eating healthy. Cut out sugar. Tell me what foods don't have sugar. So their process to me was an education. That was really the eye-opening thing to me is I had 10 choices of food in front of me every day. You know, when I was on the run in sales, I was making 8 bad choices. I wasn't eating the 2 good ones. And I loved the 2 good ones. I just didn't know they were good. So I made bad choices every single day. In the program, Awaken 180, really changed my mind, opened my eyes up to, it was a true education on food, what to eat, what not to eat, and it's been fantastic.
Knowing what to eat, the ability to navigate nutrition labels, a proven clear path for weight loss, exactly what you will receive with Awaken 180. Leave confusion at the door and do what we did. Awaken180weightloss.com. That's Awaken180weightloss.com.
Common Man and T-Bone.
Hold your head up high, Mr. Ed, I guess. Trying to think of a better horse reference. I really didn't have one.
Hidalgo!
Hidalgo's good.
I'm going to ride him.
Common Man and T-Bone.
Sponsored by the Hinderer Motor Company.
Weekdays 3 to 6 on The Fan.
Common Man and T-Bone here for our friends at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Bone, do you know that there's games going on this weekend?
Oh, I know. And your game day headquarters is the sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Massive TV walls, 12,000 square feet, and all the gaming action you could want.
Wager at one of 4 betting windows and 30-plus betting kiosks. Beat the crowd and reserve a table for all game days this fall at HollywoodColumbus.com.
Wow, private table. Must be nice. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
How do people feel about getting Big Fitness Energy at Planet Fitness for $15 a month? They feel as thrilled as a kid the first summer they're tall enough to ride the roller coaster. That's right. When you join Planet Fitness right now, you get access to tons of equipment and free fitness training in a clean and spacious club. Don't wait. Join the judgment-free zone today for that all-day energy. Download the free Planet Fitness app and join today for $15 a month.
Hurry. Deal ends September 12th. Join today for $15 a month.
See Home Club for details.
At the Home Depot, we know you can't control everything, like when your guests arrive too early for Saturday college football. But you can control your grill. With the Traeger Timberline XL, you can watch the game, not the grill. Monitor your football feast from anywhere using the Traeger app. With the Timberline XL, you can bake, smoke, sear, fry, and sauté. That's Desmond Howard level versatility.
Huddle up. The food's done.
Defend your game time with Traeger and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Something amazing is happening in networking. Organizations are scaling with less stress. That's because CDW is designing and implementing intelligent HPE Aruba networking solutions that simplify and secure operations. With automation at the center of your data center, growing pains can be a thing of the past. HPE Aruba Networking and CDW. Make amazing happen. Learn more at cdw.com/Aruba.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
The sun is out with a high of 80 degrees. Clear tonight, lows in the low 50s. Warmer tomorrow with a high of 86 under sunny skies. Sunny again on Wednesday with a high of 90. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Weston Air Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Beamer has a very punchable face, so Bobby punches it. This is Morning Juice.
Wrapping things up here, Reaction Monday edition of the program. Brandon Beam, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark, and we here on the Juice are brought to you by our good friends over at Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. You can always visit them on the line at feelgreatcolumbus.com. Uncle Bo and the boys going to be up after we're done here at 10:33 this morning. They will check in with our Football Friday friend, their Reaction Monday friend, Austin Ward, is going to join the program. And then Rothman and Ice today having an Ian Fitzsimmons on at 2:33 and a Jim Lachey at 12:33. So all kinds of good stuff upcoming for them.
Gosh, so robust.
Power packed.
Hopefully Rothman has a stretch in so his back doesn't go out during that.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds like a big show to me.
He's got to be feeling pretty fired up. Sam Darnold looking good for his Vikes.
Yeah.
Giants
right.
looking really bad.
They're terrible. I don't know.
Daniel Jones.
If the Giants played the Panthers, what do you think that number would look like?
Oh, Bobby. That's a pretty good toss-up. I think the Giants win. I think the Panthers got smoked yesterday.
By like an average Saints team.
Maybe a below average Saints team.
I mean, I have to say
I don't think anybody's picking the Saints to win the NFC South.
I have to call them average because they scored over 40 points in an NFL game. Like, and when you do that,
30-3 at halftime.
That's what I'm saying. It looked like how you thought Notre Dame and Northern Illinois was going to look, and that didn't happen in the NFL.
It tells you all you need to know that score was 47-10 with 10 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. And Bryce Young was still playing quarterback. He was still playing quarterback with 4 minutes left to go at 47-10.
What's their owner's name?
David Tepper.
What do you think Tepper was thinking about that one? Think he threw a drink at anybody in the Superdome?
I hope he did. That guy's a piece of work.
He probably just walked out of there, went to the Harris Casino at half.
Mm-hmm.
Time to start hitting it up. Can't be this unlucky and everything.
I think he was probably calling Bill Belichick saying, "You want a job? I'm going to fire Canales after game one."
I mean, I understand if your roster isn't good, but it wasn't like they played the Chiefs. Like they played an average New Orleans team and you got run.
I saw this and I don't know on social media. I believe everything that I see on the internet. But since signing his $160 million contract, that Daniel Jones has thrown more touchdowns to defenses than he has his own guys.
That's a great stat if that's true.
More pick sixes, more touchdowns thrown to opponents than to his own players.
Giants Nation, G up.
By the way, update on Russ. He wasn't active, but the third emergency backup quarterback situation is in application.
They've changed the rules on that because a while they did away with the emergency QB and just added more guys to the roster, but they've subsequently brought that back.
Yep.
So, yes, he was the third quarterback out there, but...
Steeler Nation, let's steal. No, we earned this. Let's pound.
Maybe black and blue, blue collar is my shirt, but black and yellow in my veins.
I honestly... I don't know, and we can get into this as the week goes on. I don't know who the Steelers play the second week of the season coming up here. I'll pull that up momentarily. I don't know if he's going to get that job.
Well, I hope he plays again. I want to see him running out there.
I hope he's active this week and playing because they're at the Broncos.
Well, that'll be great.
That's what I mean. It's great TV. That's great entertainment.
That needs to happen.
That's a 425 game for you.
That needs to happen. I mean, does he drop a Broncos Nation, let's ride together?
Broncos country, let's ride. Go Hawks. Is that what he said in Seattle? Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
And then it was Broncos Nation, let's ride. What is it with Pittsburgh? Does he have one yet?
There's too much there, Beam. Too much meat on the bone. He hasn't workshopped it all yet.
Yeah.
You'd think while he's rehabbing that calf, he'd have plenty of that time.
Yeah. Steel sharpens steel.
Siri, can steel sharpen steel? There's a great meme of it, GIF on the internet that's remarkable.
I mean,
that's out there.
I just love that we're just full boat now from here on out.
Well, he's a psycho.
I'm just saying with football.
Oh, and then I also, Shark, I sent over, we're going to have to get that Bill Belichick's first Instaface post. I mean, by the way, I got to follow him.
Follow Bill?
Yeah.
Is he on there?
Yeah, that was not a joke. He's now on Instaface.
Exchange-a-gram?
Yeah. He's really, that's his...
What's he going to be doing on there?
Well, that's the...
Posting pictures on his boat?
I don't know. Wait, I'm going to have to find it. I sent over, he made the announcement on McAfee, but I saw his first Instapace. Oh, yeah. Hello. Oh, never. They have it. The best part is they have it cut up. They're like, I feel like I've seen this before. And it's intercut with Alan and then reading that crumpled up piece of paper from the Hangover from the Wolfpack. Because I feel like I've seen this. Hello, everybody. Hi. It's so good. It's really great. I got to follow Bill. It's going to be one of the best.
All right, before we get out of here today, our fan poll at 971thefan.com or on Twitter at 971thefan.
Who has a better shot of going 0-17, Cincinnati or Cleveland?
Which team had the more disappointing
Giants?
performance on Sunday, Bengals or Browns? That's a tough one. Cincinnati traditionally starts the year. I can forget about losing to the Patriots because history has shown us that with Joe Burrow, they will be a playoff contender. The Browns, I don't know what the fix is for that offensive line.
History has shown us that they're going to be awesome.
What's the fix, Shark? I mean, just hoping that your guys get better throughout here in the week. And
it's not a
I know it's not. That's why I'm asking you.
Getting Jedrick Wills in there, I think, would help a tackle. That would be the first thing. And then getting first downs would be the second. Because they didn't get many of those, being.
No, they didn't.
You know, that would be a good thing.
I think I got to go with the Browns. I think I got.
And not jumping on not false starting on 4th and 2 when you're going to go for it.
Oh, they had a bunch of 5-yard penalties, alignment, false starts. Yeah, that was ugly.
That's a sign of a disciplined program.
I think. Well, I mean, they were both very disappointing. The fact that the Bengals lost to a really, really bad team.
It's the biggest spread on the board.
It was 8.5.
Biggest spread on the board, and did the Patriots win 4 games in Bills last season? 5, maybe?
No, I don't think they got to 5.
And, you know, at least the Browns were playing a legitimate playoff team.
Playoff contending team.
Yeah.
They won 4 games last year, the Patriots did. Dallas Cowboys have had a good record. They just can't win in the playoffs.
Pats Nation, revolt.
Bob, I had so much fun today. What do you say we reconvene tomorrow on a Schlag Day Tuesday if they allow us? You good with that?
I cannot wait.
Everybody have a fantastic day. Uncle Bo and the boys are up next. We're back live tomorrow morning to break everything down. Have a good one. Talk to you then. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there and good morning. Right now, still watching crews clear up a crash on the north side of town on I-270 northbound to the I-70 westbound corridor over there. The right lane slightly blocked off right near State Route 3 Westerville Road, and I-71 southbound still a little bit slow moving near 17th Avenue from a crash earlier this morning. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
Dormar, your kind of hero.
Dormar can be there today, guaranteed. Visit them at dormarhvac.com.
This is a fan action update.
The 3 biggest underdogs in NFL Week 1 all cover the spread. That would be the Patriots at +8 against the Bengals, the Broncos +6.5 against the Seahawks, and the Cardinals +6.5 against the Bills. The Bengals are now 1-8 in the first 2 weeks of the season straight up since 2020. That is the worst mark in the NFL, and they're a 5.5-point road underdog to the Chiefs this week. For your action update, I'm Scotty Vegas.
Marty Brenneman here for Tri-State Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health for treating erectile dysfunction and low testosterone issues. And they're the leader for a reason, because I can tell you from my own experience of being treated there, Tri-State Men's Health is top shelf. Far too many men wait to get their ED treated, but I want to tell you today that you shouldn't wait any longer. If you're suffering with ED and are like most guys, a medical team at Tri-State Men's Health will get you back on track fast. They have the experience, they have the treatment protocols, and they know what they're doing. At Tri-State Men's Health, they have ED treatments that are effective in well over 90% of men. They can even combine treatments for better results. You might even find yourself performing like you haven't in years. So make an appointment today. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. They have 6 offices in the tri-state area to serve you.
Hey guys, it's Timmy Hall, and American Nitro Smokin' Hot Wing and Music Fest presented by Lowe's is back for year 2, and I'm so excited. We got the wing smoking competition that I'll be judging. Cold beer, food trucks, tons of wings, and a great cause. We're raising money for Ghosts of War, providing immediate assistance to veterans in need. So get your tickets at americannitro.com/wingfest. Free admission for all current and former military members. Brought to you by Lowe's, Columbus Chamber of Commerce, Dave & Buster's, Valpak of Central Ohio, Heidelberg Distributing, and more.
Create a safe sleep environment for your baby by using the ABCs of safe sleep. Babies are safest alone on their backs in an empty crib. Always place your baby on his or her back while sleeping, and be sure to use a firm sleep surface. Remember, room sharing without bed sharing is safest. For more information, visit childrenandyouth.ohio.gov/infant safe sleep.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text BREAK to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text BREAK to 321-321. That's BREAK to 321.